just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won their fifth straight game yesterday, 32-13 over Cleveland and Foxborough. Drake May, 18 of 24 passing for 282 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Patriots ran off 27 straight points after being down 7-3 in the second quarter.
I think we left some out there in the red zone. It's true, that's good defense. I thought we moved the ball well. Defense helped us out. They played
They're 6-2 now. They still have sole possession of first place in the AFC East. The Atlanta Falcons come to town on Sunday. Falcons 3-4 after getting blown out at home by Miami yesterday, 34-10. Celtics are 0-3 for the first time in 12 years after coming up short in Detroit on the first day of a back-to-back, 119-113. The Green led by 17 in the first quarter, but they were only 15 of 45 from deep and allowed 18 offensive rebounds. Jaylen Brown, 41 points and a loss. Celtics right back at it tonight in New Orleans. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and tip-off at 8 over on 105.7 WROR. The reason that game is there is because the Bruins will be here tonight on 98.5 The Sports Hub. They'll visit Ottawa. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30. The Bruins yesterday placed Hampus Lindholm on injured reserve and called up defenseman Jonathan Aspero from Providence. Toronto visits the Dodgers tonight in Game 3 of the World Series, even in a game apiece. And in college football news, LSU reportedly fired head coach Chip Kelly last night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Start your day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Work through your day.
What's that thing we do at the end of the show?
And end your day.
I'm not giving you an opinion. I don't know.
Right here, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
and Hardy
Who's Taylor the originator?
on 98.5.
Hello. Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How we do it?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Monday.
Well, I tell her the truth, I miss booty.
That problem is too large for the Sarge.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
And I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
knocking back.
25 glasses of soda.
Having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go. It's Toucher and Hardy without Fred Toucher this morning. We are here in the Town Fair Tires studios along with Andrew Callahan and John Wallach. Fred, I don't know. Maybe he decided to stay in Cincinnati and celebrate the Jets' first win of the season. Big game for Freddie T yesterday.
Is he in Cincinnati or is he across the river? We've heard that story now a couple times.
Northern Kentucky.
That's
Northern
right.
Kentucky,
The Northern
yeah.
Kentucky.
Yes.
A lot of interesting
Into the
things
bushes.
across the river. Yeah. Seen that.
There was a time when I had an opportunity to go work at a radio station in Dayton, which is not far from Kentucky. I got to look at a map again. I got to figure out exactly.
Dayton, Ohio, home of Guided by Voices.
Oh,
Thanks, 12.
that's how I always think of it.
My
Was
mind
it
went to
Waxy?
Dan
Was
Patrick.
that the
I don't
radio
know.
station,
Could
Hardy?
be.
WOXY? Alternative
Jesus.
station?
Guided by voices.
I think. Yeah.
Boy, now I'm in suspense. Where's Dayton? I can't wait for this.
Leave it.
All right, it said north of Cincinnati, but I just remember it being kind of like a rural feel and this whole thing. And I was going to do a morning show there, and the woman on the morning show, she was really cool, and we got along, and we met, and afterward, the guy who was interviewing me said, so and so is a lesbian. And I think it would be interesting at some point maybe to like bring that out on the air and talk about it. You got to remember this is like 1994. And I said, I don't know if you're really giving enough credit to how the community might react to that here in Dayton. Like, I don't know. And at the time, like now it seems ridiculous that it would even be a consideration. But he was like, yeah, I think you should, get on the air and explore that stuff. I'm like, yeah, this isn't Howard Stern. We're we're not, like mass appealing to all these. Like, I just don't know if I want like picketers outside the studio. When I'm trying to do my first, second morning show. I mean, I've been doing one in like East Lansing, but I'm like, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think they're ready. I'm ready. I'm fine. But to think that we're going to do that in Dayton, I don't know.
The way he approached that sounds like, she's got a zoo animal at home. Why don't you talk about that? Julie's got a jaguar.
So
that's
strange.
a fun fact. Just open with it. It's like, I don't know. I think that's her jaguar to talk about.
Right. And the guy who I talked to, I really liked, and I know him, and it was a different time. Anyway, so Fred's flight got delayed yesterday. Is that what happened? I got 2 texts from him total. Did you have more conversation with him, 12?
No, I didn't. I got the same text that you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it was kind of like a mid-conversation, one of those texts where you just, let's see.
Yeah, I might have it too. It was I feel like it was to, he texted me and you and Rick, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, sorry to do this, but they have already pushed my flight out of here until 9 p.m., so who knows what's going to happen. Figured better to do it now. Do what now? I can take the day off, but okay. Whatever.
That was at 4:46.
So when was the flight originally supposed to leave?
Well,
if they pushed it,
they were ahead of what they were.
8:30.
Well,
Seriously,
seriously,
say he was flying home around like 6. What that was because he did
there's
the quick
no
turnaround.
way.
They were
no way.
No
way. He's had a flight at 6 when he was at a 1:00 NFL game.
Yeah,
Not a chance.
I would say there's no. I'm with you, John. Even leaving like directly from the game, which I don't know how you would do that. Don't you have like bags and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way.
Unless you just leave it in the rental. But even then, like, game goes overtime, you hit bad traffic on the way out.
That
airport's 20, 30 minutes away, too.
Right, but he said he was staying in a hotel within walking distance of the stadium, so technically you can leave the bags at the hotel. But you'd have to go pick them up, but it's still time-consuming. You got to get a lift from there, unless you rented a car, and then it takes time to return the car. So all these things you are well-versed in, Andrew Callahan.
I am. I'm curious about what Fred looks like when the Jets score 39 points. Like, I've seen him enthusiastic here, and it's particularly when we talk about Bill. But I'm thinking, like, man in the stands. You guys went to a playoff game, right? Lions last year, Hardy?
Yeah.
Okay, so is he a fist pumper? Like, I imagine both hands in the air, some midriff popping out of the hoodie, and you see the hair, you see everything there. But what else does Fred do when he's excited? I've never seen this before.
I still haven't.
Detroit got run over in that game.
But they must have scored a touchdown at some point. You guys have been doing this show for a long time. You've known him longer than I have. So what does fan Fred look like when he's that excited?
I think it's
because this is an insane game if you're a Jets fan.
I think growing up as Fred did and watching the Jets get hammered year after year after year, and the fact that they were down big, even with the comeback. Now you guys feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Even during the comeback, he would be sitting there saying they'll find a way to blow this. There's no way it's going to come all the way back. And then when they do come all the way back, and by the way, it's possible Fred left that game early and missed the ending.
Oh no,
it's very possible. But I think it would be more stunned than happy, if you understand what I'm saying. Wow, they won. It isn't like jumping up and down, hands in the air, wave them like you don't care time. It's they won, or he'll find a negative way to spin it. It's like, he screwed up the draft.
There's no way Milo's that repressed, though. I mean, he's still young, fresh-faced. Like, the Jets have sucked, but at least he got, like, the Rex Ryan years, competent enough when he was a kid. Like, they've been bad, don't get me wrong, but...
Okay. I'm on Delta's completed
We're
flight
really going to root this out.
Right now.
I thought I was the journalist in the room. Let's go.
So yesterday, and Fred's Delta, I don't know if he's mentioned his diamond medallion status
He
before.
might have mentioned that once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yesterday, there was a flight scheduled at 5:50, which I don't think he would have been on a 5:50 flight.
No.
That actually left at 5:47 p.m.
Whoa.
and got in at 7:46.
Okay.
There was another flight scheduled for 8:30 p.m.
Yes.
that actually left at 8:25 p.m.
This is falling apart fast.
Oh, no. I think now that I'm thinking about this, talking with Fred, I think he was scheduled to be on that one.
I joked that it was 8:30 and he got pushed 20 minutes and just punted on work the next
I
day.
think it was the 8:30 flight he was on.
Wow.
Oh, boy. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, boy.
So you arrived in Boston at 10:44 last night if he was on that flight.
Not pushed till 9.
This is not this is the actual Delta flight detail. I can tell you everything you want to know about it.
What was the flight number?
I can give you the
Look at
performance
you.
data.
I'm on it now. Ace is on the case. Go get him.
Hold on a second.
Watching Andrew Callahan do this is great. I never get a chance to see
You know what those
This was Delta Lima 5804.
Okay.
So I know about. So I'm on FlightAware. Do you guys use FlightAware?
What's that? I don't know.
So FlightAware tracks every single flight, where it's been, where it's going, the name of the plane, all this different stuff. And I know this not because of anything work related, because when I first started dating my wife, she'd let me know when you get there safe, and I'm traveling, I'm going to games in fall. She would know where I was at all times. She's like, "Oh man, sucks about that delay." And I'm like sitting on the tarmac, and I'm going, "How do you know this? Like, what's going on?" So she finally coughs it up months later using this site where I give you the number, like I just asked you for, and you can see everything, again, where they've been, what they've done. And here it is. Left 5 minutes early. They were on time, landed 10:44. You can see the exact path. Hardy, I'm showing you the path of where they went.
Oh, yeah.
All tracked. Every single flight that goes anywhere. FlightAware.com.
There it is.
Stalking girlfriends, /
I was just going to say,
promo
isn't
code.
that a little unnerving, Hardy, that you're sitting on the tarmac and your girlfriend calls you, "I'm sorry you've been delayed. Sorry you're sitting on the tarmac."
So
It's
she
a
used to
little
book
weird.
travel, and that's partly why she knows
Oh,
this. But
okay, I
it just
didn't
took me forever to figure this out. I was like, "Oh, that's cool that she cares."
See, I'm not like an airplane nerd. I'm not going out to Logan and watching planes land and stuff. Although in Vegas, sometimes there was a particular PT's, which is like a local chain of like restaurants and bars, video poker bars, and they had one that was right along McCarran or whatever it is now, Harry Reid International Airport, and you could sit there and watch planes land. That was cool, but my neighbor is like really into this, and he's got an app, and anybody can do it on their phone. You can go on the website and see where all the planes in the world are flying, like at any moment, commercially tracked or whatever planes. And if we're standing outside and the kids are playing, or we're playing with the dogs or whatever, he'll see it, but he goes, "Oh, that looks like an Airbus. I bet that's coming from Europe." And he'll pull out his phone and he'll tap on the plane as it's flying overhead. Yep, that's 330. Yep, that's coming in from Paris. And you can see a plane, you pull up your app, figure out what plane that is, where it's been, where it's going, when it's going to land.
Wow.
Yeah.
That might be FlightAware. It also sounds like the alternate dad's version of the apps that identify the birds based on the song.
Yeah.
Guys who get into bird watching.
This is step one in that process.
So I know we're all into bird watching here.
Yeah,
but
of course. Yeah. Well, I'm looking at John right now. We got to get to John's weekend too in a moment.
Oh,
but
okay.
Andrew, this is kind of like unsettling to you that your wife would be tracking you using FlightAware. This is only because you have a child on the way in another week, right?
Yeah, we're looking at
Okay.
9-10 days.
I would say probably 6-7 years from now, who knows what the technology will be. Right now, it is something called Life 360 that I don't know why you would have it or why you would agree to get it if you didn't have kids. But, John, you have it, I'm sure.
I do.
We have it in our house. I'm pretty sure Fred and his family uses it, where it tracks your cell phone at all times. So it's like a live, always running Find My iPhone, which is what we insisted the kids have. Mostly when we went on vacation once and we're like, okay, we're going to be in a different country and we're going to, we need to be able to find you if necessary. But we've never gotten rid of it. And it sucks. It sucks. My wife was like, "So, you stopped and got you something to eat on the way home, did you?" Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Why are you looking? Why do you care? I literally I look at it maybe once a week, and I don't even think it's that much. Especially I looked at it once yesterday when my son was out of the house, and I just wanted to see like where he was, and if I was going to have to go get him, it was going to affect how I watch football games. But that's it. That's the first time I've been on it in weeks. I don't look where she is. It's not my business. It's all her business about where I am. She loves it.
I don't like it.
Tracking my daughter now that she's at college.
Oh, yeah.
She said to me like Saturday morning, she's like, getting to get home until 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah, she's in college. I would expect her to be out until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Like, why are you looking? Why do you don't look?
But that's the thing, because you can't. It's just there. Like, I don't have it. We had, this was like 10 years ago, Find My Friends was the thing that I used with friends. I'm the only one in my home friend group. We got a same chat of 10 guys going on, 15 years. I go, I'm not doing it. You don't need to know. If you want to know where I am, call me. I have nothing to hide. I feel like this idea that anyone could just find out where I am at any moment, that privacy, like, look, I'll do that to my kids, but at that point, I'll be a dad, and I can say, well, because I say so. And that'll be enough. But for right now, I don't want to do that.
No. All right, so John
Yes.
was at a wedding this weekend, and the wedding was beautiful, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, wedding not only was beautiful, it was quick. It was about 19 minutes, the ceremony.
Oh, so this was not a Catholic Mass?
It was, and that was the big surprise. It was a Catholic Mass, and they did the short version, only one reading.
What?
And we were in and out in the ceremony itself took 19 minutes. We were seated, and we were out in about a half an hour. I've never been through anything like that before.
Okay, so having been raised Catholic, my first question was going to be, are there kneelers? And this doesn't so I'm skipping that. I'm like, was there like a drive-through with like the Eucharist and everything going on? Like,
no,
19 minutes for any Catholic
19 minutes.
Does not compute.
In and out. It was great. I've never, as I said, you sit there and you like mentally have to strap yourself in. You're like, okay, this is going to be 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
They may get married. They may say the vows, but that's not the end of it because they have to stand there and there'll be more. There was a reading before. They said the vows. There was a reading afterwards. Pow, done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so open bar, I assume.
Yep.
Okay.
For about 2 hours afterwards.
What was the dinner?
Dinner, you could have, sea bass or filet.
Okay.
Had the filet.
Easy call.
Yeah,
Very well done.
Not getting mass-produced fish. I'm not getting fish, period, but especially
vegetables.
in that
More vegetables than you can shake a stick at.
Okay. Everything goes fine?
Yes.
Boys are with you?
No, boys are not with us.
Perfect.
I mean, we drove down with them, but they were with their grandmother. It was just my wife and I at the wedding.
Oh, okay. And you stayed, where did you stay?
See, this is where it gets interesting. We were supposed to stay at a hotel near my mother-in-law's house. She insisted that we stay with her. So we had the kids in one bedroom. We were in the other bedroom. And my grandmother slept on the couch.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Did you know that going in?
No. I did not.
All right. Well, this weekend is getting worse and worse.
He said interesting. I'm still waiting.
It doesn't get bad until the drive home.
6 hours and 15 minutes.
Why do you drive? Why do you drive? It's Philadelphia. It's not driving distance if you don't have to. John, you don't have to. You work. Your wife works. You can afford plane tickets.
It was a lot cheaper.
And a hotel.
No kidding. It's cheaper to drive. But part of it is you don't have to sit in a car for how long?
6 hours and 15 minutes. We stopped at the James Gandolfini rest stop in New Jersey.
Oh, well.
Right near the, what used to be called Tappan Zee, now the Governor Mario Cuomo Bridge. It's about 10 minutes from there.
I didn't know
So
about that
you said
part.
that proudly, but just like the story you told, the best part about the Gandolfini rest stop is the start of it, and the further you get in, it's not great. It's the sign. You're like, oh, this is named after Tony Soprano. This is cool.
Yeah.
But not 6:15. So you could have fit how many Catholic masses in there? Like normally 6 to 7, but in your case,
a dozen.
You
15?
sat through 18.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do the
masses
math.
on the way home.
I do the math. So yeah, I arrived home at about 5-ish, thereabouts, and then sat down, watched the Patriots, rewatched the Patriots game. After that, it was a nice day.
Man, I just
traffic everywhere.
I don't even mind the driving as much as Hardy does. I just wish you had gotten the hotel.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're gonna have a night out, have a night out.
Have a night out. Let the kids stay somewhere
Let
else.
grandma sleep in her own GD bed.
And then you get the hotel sex.
Yeah.
Which is always better.
Yeah.
John doesn't agree with me on this. Fred doesn't necessarily agree with me on this. Now, I know I've had other people back me up, but outside of this room, that's where I have to find my people to back me up on this. Hotel sex, Andrew, better than in your marital bed.
Nah, I think it's on par. But
Thank
you.
Thank you.
12.
I'll say this:
you were married.
I've backed you on this before as well, Hardy. I am with you on this. Hotel sex, magnificent.
Thank you.
It's not even about like the good times have been about an event that was going along with the hotel. It was like you were in a good mood because of the wedding. You were in a good mood because of something else. But like the hotel itself, I'm like, we do the check for the bed bugs, and then depending on how clean it is in the room, as soon as you step in, I'm like, I don't know what else.
Bed bugs?
Oh yeah.
Tell this guy.
If you have ever slept in a hotel with bed bugs, you then check every hotel you will ever stay in.
You
again
carry
with
like
bed
the
bugs.
UV wand?
No. All you do is
It's like an Ocean's 13 thing.
Here's a life hack. You pull up one corner of the sheets on a bed. If they're not there, you're good.
Wait a minute. Well, stop. You pull back one corner. You don't see anything in that corner?
And what I'm talking about, because that's where they live, is in the corners. And so you do the fitted sheet that goes over the mattress.
How do you know
that's
that
it.
bed bugs live in corners?
Again, if you've slept in a bed with bed bugs or woken up with them, you start to research how the F do I get rid of bed bugs and how do I know where they are before I get into a bed with bed bugs.
There's
and
a
that's
website
what you will find.
that tells you they live in corners of beds and not the middle?
Man, I thought this is more common knowledge.
This is
I'm
stuff.
sorry. I apologize.
Well, there you
I did
go.
not know.
Especially if you travel
something new
abroad.
every day.
And now I know you're probably staying in a hostel, not a hotel, if you do go abroad,
Well, no,
right?
the hostel has bed bugs everywhere.
See, there you go.
So I would imagine.
See, they're not even going to stay in the hostel.
Well,
they're going
all
to
right.
make their, fifth
Remove
cousin.
yourself from the conversation.
No
then,
bed
because
bugs where
there's
I slept.
No sexy time if you're worried about infestation the second you walk into a room.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Never mind.
Takes 2 seconds.
Never mind.
Both times.
All right,
both
well,
things.
John made it back. Andrew Callahan made it in despite working all day yesterday. How long were you writing last night?
3-4 hours.
Okay. So Callahan is here. Fred, not but the Patriots with another win. We will focus in on that for the majority of the show today on Toucher and Hardy here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Touch. describes himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
It's Toucher and Hardy on 98.5, the Sports Hub. What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. John Wallach, back from Philadelphia. Long drive. He's all set, though. He's locked and loaded, ready to tell us what happened. We'll, of course, begin with the Patriots. John?
Yes, Patriots took a 4-game winning streak and a 5-2 record into a home game against 2-5 Cleveland yesterday. And entering this one, and Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong, the Patriots were 30th in the NFL in points allowed in the first 2 possessions of the game and 3rd in points allowed after that. Do I have my numbers correct?
That sounds about right.
All right. Yesterday, unfortunately, the song remained the
Sounds
same.
like a lie.
We'll get to that later. Song remains the same for the Patriots. I said the song remains the same for the
Patriots.
Patriots.
Now the Patriot 18-yard line, working from the eye. Tight end hand down right is Njoku. Play fake by Gabriel, drops back, under pressure, lobs the throw right, caught by Fannin, wide open 5 into the end zone. Easy pitch and catch, and a touchdown Cleveland.
But what are they doing?
An excellent question by Scott Zolak. What exactly are they doing? Dylan Gabriel caps a 6-play, 70-yard drive with an 18-yard touchdown pass to a wide-open Harold Fannin. 7-3 Browns after 1 quarter. Andrew Callahan, why do they continue to have slow starts?
Well, the Browns' offense, as we just heard, updated in real time. You heard the little ding that said the Browns just upgraded. There was a score. They unlocked a new play. Good for them. Version 7.5. Here's the thing about the slow starts is every team has something to fix or a thing that their fans complain about. This is the Patriots. It doesn't make it any better because you see certain teams reaching for the same low-hanging fruit. It's quick game. The bootleg passes, and then the wrinkles that they have. The Titans scored in this. We talked about it last week. This play-action play that started like all the other plays they had been running and broke out for a post route. This was the Browns' wrinkle, is they had their leading receiver, tight end Harold Fannin, start as a fullback in the backfield, and then ran a corner route, a vertical route you only see from receivers, sometimes tight ends. So they're hitting on all their wrinkles, and they're taking the same low-hanging fruit. And the Patriots, eventually, I think this will smooth out. But for now, they're as bothered as anybody about it.
But then again, this is Cleveland, and the Patriots were able to move the football on the other side. The problem was, even though the Patriots offense was moving the football, they weren't getting the ball into the end zone.
Okay, hold on just 1 second here for
Sure.
just on that Bengals opening drive, because the stats, which are spoiler alert for Andrew Callahan and his 2 stats, they're all lies. Okay, and there's statistically, I am not backed up by this.
Okay. It's like, where's that going?
All right. I'll just say it from the outset. I've looked into it because I'm convinced that teams score at a higher rate on their first drive than any other drive. Okay. It's not true as far as I can tell, but I do believe that offenses tend to look better, even if they don't score, because it's that scripted 8, what did it take him? 7 plays on that,
Yep.
John?
Yep.
7 plays, 3 minutes, 35 seconds, especially on bad teams when they say, okay, guys, let's learn football this way. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this series of plays, and we're gonna pound these into the ground for the however many days of practice we have leading up to the game on Sunday. So that comes out. That's a scripted opening drive, and they tend to look better. And as a result, yeah, if a team is only going to score once in a game, I still feel it's going to be on that opening drive, and beyond that, who knows? So I'm not really fazed by it much anymore. We used to see it from the Tom Brady Patriots. They would score on the opening drive and then just go quiet for a quarter and a half and not score again until the second. Maybe a field goal or something, but it happened enough times to where I just stopped being fazed by any team that jumps out, gets a touchdown on their opening drive, and like, oh my God, this is going to be a long day. No, it's just that opening drive magic that some teams, a lot of teams seem to have.
And it sticks with you in memory because just as human beings, you tend to remember the things that happen first and those that happen last. So it seems like a bigger deal than it is, to your point. And I like the suggestion that even the bad teams are more likely to score then, because if you were to think about this like a pitcher, right, and you're a hitter, you're going, they really have a fastball and a changeup. The Browns can run the ball and they can do junk stuff, okay? You're going to wait on that first pitch. If it goes by for a strike, okay, you go, the more he throws, the more likely it is that I'm going to be able to hammer something. Over time, I'm going to win. But for one pitch, yeah, you might get something by me. Teams have been getting something by the Patriots, who know the Titans and the Saints and the Panthers. Like, look, over time we'll be fine. So once we adjust or start to sit on that fastball, which is what you really want to do, no pitcher goes a whole at bat really without throwing fastballs. We're going to be able to hit that because we prepped for that. We know you're good at it. We know you're going to throw it.
Okay, so the Patriots offense, speaking of first drives, they were able to do that. They kicked the field goal, and they were moving the football up and down the field, but not in the end zone. Twice they got the ball inside the 10. Twice they had to settle for field goals, and one of the reasons they were unable to get the ball in the end zone was this guy.
Diggs left slot, Booty on the outside left, Henry in the right slot inside of Hollins, and on the right hip of May. Ramondre Stevenson as Hollins motions right to left. May looks to throw, pumps right, starts to run, wrapped up, and he's brought down. And that is another sack for Myles Garrett.
Woo! Myles Garrett, a future Hall of Famer. He was on his way to a big day, and we'll get to that in a minute, even for him in the first half. But finally, at the end of the first half, May led the Patriots on a 7-play, 59-yard drive that ended this way. I said that ended this way.
Again from 42. Right hash mark. For the enclosed end, the south end of Gillette. Ashby, the rookie. Long snaps it to Behringer. Borregales kicks it. His kick is driven right down the middle. It's good, and the Patriots have the lead. The first half comes to an end.
Andres Borregales' third field goal of the first half handed the Patriots a 9-7 lead at the break. And this, Andrew, is despite a really bad interception by May in the first half. Threw it right to Schlesinger, right in the middle of the field, standing right in front of him. That's as bad a pass as he's thrown all season.
Did you see his explanation for this? It's great. He goes, I was looking downfield, and I forgot the guy right in front of me could jump.
Well,
which is just like the security in that comes from, okay, you won by 19 anyway. But also a kid who knows, yeah, I screwed up. This is a big, bad, dumb mistake, which every quarterback makes, by the way. Even Brady had some of these throws that you're going, okay, all right, you're probably going to got one more of those in the season. But the fact that he bounced back as a 23-year-old kid facing the best pass rush of his entire life, okay, you mentioned the future Hall of Famer, was huge because the next drive, 2 long touch throws, sets up that field goal.
So 9-7 at the half.
Okay.
We have time for
more?
more?
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Let's continue. And then as they have for the last month, May and the offense found their footing in half number 2. Cleveland got the ball first in the third quarter. They went 3 and out. And then the Patriots got a big run from Travion Henderson and a pass from May to Mac Hollins on a trick play to move them down the field. And then finally, the Patriots offense got in the end zone.
Diggs in motion right to left. Play fake by May, rolling right, throws it to the 5. Easy walk-in, touchdown, Hunter Henry!
All right.
And the Patriots expand their lead.
May hits a wide-open Hunter Henry on a rollout after a couple of misdirection plays to set things up. 16-7 Patriots, and May wasn't done either.
The Pats have a 3rd and goal to go on the 1-yard line of Cleveland.
Got to get in.
Left hash mark, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. In motion to the right is Hunter Henry. Drake May drops back, throws it quick to Diggs. He's in for a touchdown. Patriots take advantage of the interception.
All right, a Robert Spillane interception set up that short May to Stephon Diggs throw. A big get-together in the end zone after that, and we've discussed about Diggs' leadership, and it was a party there for a while for him.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the play motion just to isolate him on a slant, and he had gotten there with an 8-yard slant, then they're 1 yard. They're like, all right, let's just get him in.
So,
it was his first touchdown.
Let me ask you something on that play to get Diggs open. How close are you to getting the interference call on that, to where you're just and again we all saw it, and it happened in the late game too. I think it happened in the Packers-Steelers game last night, where obviously you have to be running a route and you just can't be getting in the way. That's real close. Is it because they're so close to the line of scrimmage that you can have more contact? Because who was the other receiver that kind of ran in front?
It's Mac Hollins, right?
It was Mac
Probably
Hollins.
Mac Hollins, the biggest guy, yeah.
Okay, Mac Hollins, who kind of like, ran that. It's essentially like a block. It's essentially a pick, but it's not a pick. It's not called as it obviously is. Diggs got the touchdown, but how close are they to tiptoeing that line?
So I've not rewatched that beyond just which is what today is all about.
Well, then you're ill-prepared for this show,
but
aren't you?
Your point is well taken about like the idea that if you are within a yard of the line of scrimmage, they're just never going to call it. And
this meeting is premature then, isn't it?
Well, if it was a 1-yard touchdown, then this is the exact right play to call, right? Because if you're within 1 yard, you're fine.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
it.
matter.
And I think, too, there's
and
also...
that rule doesn't change just because you're on the goal line. You still have the same number of yards where a contact is allowed.
And there's also a matter of, like there are ways to go about it that are a little bit more, I don't want to say like nuanced, but less obvious.
Yeah, I was running a route. I was trying to do a 5-yard out. I had to run straight forward, and if I happen to get in the way of the other guy's cornerback, then yeah, it's fine.
Because every single team in the league runs, you want to call them pick plays or rub plays, like you're intersecting routes so that you create traffic for defenders and force them to go up and over. So the only issue is, are you able to kind of fake it well enough or look like you're running a route when everyone knows you're just trying to get in the way? In this case, they did.
All right. 3 touchdown passes in a quarter for Drake May, but that's only 2, John. Well,
works from the left hash of the 39. He takes the shotgun snap. He's back to throw. He loads up a long ball, lofted downfield. Open man, touchdown, Keyshawn Booty.
What a weapon.
Over his left shoulder, he almost had to bend all the way back to locate it, but another great catch by Booty. He seems to be doing this once a week.
He's really come alive this season. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And we've talked with Andrew about this. We talked with we're going to talk with Mike Reese here in a little while. I did not expect this ascendance from Keyshawn Booty.
No. I said this on the air, with you guys last week. I've said it on my podcast. He has matured and grown as a player more than any young player I've seen covering the team now for 7.5 years. It's incredible. And not to mention, he told at least my guy, Doug Kide at the Herald this week, when he had surgery on his ankle after his freshman season at LSU that everyone was clinging to, was like, he could be great. Look at those stats. That's insane. He doesn't have the same burst off that ankle. Like, his game has had to change from athletic freak to I'm going to get open deep, but it's not because I'm just sprinting away from you. It's because I'm going to run the proper route. I'm going to have the right leverage. And in this case, he's going to win all of those contested catches because he's doing that more often than any receiver in the league.
All right, so 3 touchdown passes in a quarter for Drake May. He's the first Patriots quarterback to do that since Tom Brady did it against Miami in the last Patriots Super Bowl year of 2018. There was a Travion Henderson fumble at the Browns' 5-yard line in the fourth quarter. Patriots got a safety right after that. They beat Cleveland 32-13. Drake May, 18 of 24, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 1 bad interception. We talked about Myles Garrett earlier. 5 sacks for the Browns in the loss. These are small negative things. Should we be worried about Travion Henderson the way we were worried about Ramondre Stevenson? Because they look eerily similar, Andrew Callahan.
I'm not worried because I just don't have a high bar for Travion Henderson right now.
He looked better yesterday than he has all season.
Much better. And I think the play designs were there, right? You want a guy with 4.3 speed to get on the edge where he can use that 4.3 speed.
That was against a really good defense, too.
The best run defense in the league.
And he managed to get outside.
Until that fumble, which is not to like dismiss or, diminish how bad a fumble, particularly in that spot, could be, he was going to be a headline. And I think probably was still in some places. Like the Patriots, who had the worst run defense in the league a couple of weeks ago, crack the league's best run defense thanks to a rookie who played 9 snaps the week before. And for us, Travion Henderson might not get the full upgrade like the Browns offense did, but for him, like to play 13 snaps, run 10 times, lead the team in rushing, and go over 60 yards, he basically doubled his previous season high for a single game. So look, the fumble's bad. I'm going to take what was mostly good, though, yesterday for him because like that's where he's at. Any good is great where he is right now.
All right, more on that. We'll continue here on the other side. More of what happened last night with the Patriots and a lot going on here on Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots got 3 touchdown passes from Drake May. They won their 5th in a row, 32-13 over Cleveland yesterday. They'll play Atlanta and Foxborough this Sunday. Patriots now 6-2 overall, 5 straight wins overall, and they play Atlanta Sunday. Falcons lost to Miami 34-10. They come to town with a record of 3-4. Celtics beaten in Detroit yesterday 119-113. They're 0-3. They're in New Orleans tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Bruins play as well. They're in Ottawa. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hampus Lindholm and his sore hamstring placed on injured reserve yesterday. And Game 3 of the World Series is tonight in L.A. Toronto and the Dodgers even at a game apiece. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Bossy. Catch every game at the Bossy Sports Lounge in Natick. Wall-to-wall TVs, craft food and drinks, plus golf simulators, darts, and more. Visit them in the Natick Mall or learn more at bossy.net today. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Very pleasant good afternoon and welcome to Foxborough's Gillette Stadium. New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. Play fake by May, rolling right, throws it to the 5. Touchdown, Hunter Henry! Patriots expand their lead. Waist high snap, blitzer coming, throw across the field, intercepted. Here comes Spillane to the 30, 25-20. Hurdles a man, lands at the 5.
There you go, fans are up now. Now you start believing in the football team.
Breaks from the left hash of the 39. He takes the shotgun snap, he's back to throw. He loads up a long ball off the downfield. Okay, touchdown, Keyshawn Boutte.
What a weapon.
Patriots and the Browns.
These type of games you get away from me. This team's different. They're building something. They believe in something. They're getting better right in front of us every week.
It's a banner day. Buffalo Tom, Andrew Callahan, another Patriots win, 6-2. 6-2.
Yeah.
I remember saying 7. 7 a lot before
I said
the start of the
6
season.
or 7. I thought all the youth and the lack of depth, and it all made sense to me. I said 6 or 7 wins at the beginning of the season.
And I remember saying it confidently, even smugly, 7 wins, and with the caveat, we should be thrilled with that. As a Patriots fan, you should be thrilled with 7 wins because, by my math, that more than doubles their win total from last year. As I've said many times, I do not count the win against Buffalo in Week 18.
That's right.
I don't. When a team lets you win, then you don't get to count that win.
Fair enough.
You don't get to think of that as having a win. So, or at the very least, you can look on it optimistically and positively and say, we really only had 3 wins last year. So if you get 7 this year, you've more than doubled your win total. They're at 6. They're at 6-2.
It was such an encapsulation of the 2024 Patriots in that last game. Even when you wanted to lose, the other team was better at that than you. The Bills scored their 3rd-string quarterback. I said 9. That was my prediction. I had them in the playoffs before this season. But I want to go back to something I said, I think right here in February. We were talking about the Commanders making that run to the NFC Championship game. I said they got a lot of money to spend. I think they have a quarterback. They need a ton of help. They're going to need a lot of luck. Doesn't seem so crazy now, does it?
No, it does not.
And it's the same outline, right? It's the new coach energy, the free agents who are all, veterans, some of whom are probably still overpaid, but they're the right guys in the locker room. You plug your holes, you amplify your strengths. Like Christian Gonzalez finally yesterday is coming around to form. If you would say the Patriots are going to start 6-2 when that dude misses 3 games and the next 4 doesn't look like himself, you would have said, yeah, they're probably 500. And the defense has been top 10 since he got back. Not because of him, but everyone else around him.
Spillane also did not have a good start. The last 3 weeks has been tremendous.
So much better. Again, that was one of the stats we had after week 2. He had missed more tackles than he had made. Yeah. And now, granted, that pick was an early Christmas gift, right? That was a treat like all the kids are going to find here in a week going around in their costumes for him. Just here you go from Dylan Gabriel. But the point is, him, you look at Milton Williams, who had a pass deflection. Callahan Chason has been a monster on the edge. That was a flyer deal that they took. They've almost all hit. And that's what you need. If you want a surprise, you've got to get guys who you get either on a bargain or who meet the level of the contract, in addition to, of course, the coach and the quarterback.
All right, let's get into a couple things real quick. A couple of notes from the game. Drake May, 18 of 24, efficient again, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 bad interception. But it was the resiliency, the bouncing back from that bad pick that really led him to a good game.
Bouncing back from adversity. This is that league. One of the best players on the edge, and maybe the best player in the league on the edge. So just battling back and continue to run it and play action and boot and just try to keep the defense off trying to be unpredictable on offense, and I think Coach called a great game and good to handle adversity and come out at halftime and score 3 touchdowns in the third quarter was big.
We were talking about checking boxes with this kid. The more he matures, okay, physically he's got it. Pocket sense, he's got that. He's athletic enough to roll out and throw on the run. But the one thing we really hadn't seen is how he would deal with some bad adversity. He was constantly getting sacked by Myles Garrett. He threw a really bad interception, but he was able to shake that off in the second half and succeed. 3 touchdown passes in a quarter. First time a Patriot quarterback's done that in 7 years. This kid checked another box yesterday.
He was perfect in the second half. He was 8 of 8. Like 3 touchdowns in a quarter. It's a big deal. How about 100% completion percentage? And a guy who at halftime, like I'm watching that game, it's 9-7. They get the field goal, and he hit this long pass to Booty on 3rd down, and you're like, okay, that puts him back in field goal range. This is good. But they're taking it, to your point, on the chin. I'm like, okay, this will be a hard-earned lesson. This will be good for them in the long term. And they go out and do that and say, oh, no, we've got another gear. And credit, too, to Josh McDaniels, by the way, because that next play, I have my notes here right in front of me. He starts on that touchdown drive to start the second half when they start to blow it open. It's a play-action pass, May scrambles. You got a run to the right with Trayvon Henderson, a toss to the right with Trayvon Henderson, a double pass. You had a speed option. You had a jet sweep, and then another play-action pass. So it's all of this misdirection. It's motion at the snap. It's your fastest players on the edge, and that's how you neutralize a pass rush, which I think they said, we got a plan. We'll test it out. But if we can hold up just straight up, why wouldn't we do that? Of course they couldn't. And then they go in, and they adjust, and May bounces back. Like it's the combination of those two, McDaniels and May, that has taken this from good to great to possibly special.
And watching Drake May yesterday, I mean, there was still times when he got out and he was running the ball. There was one play where I wish he had gone down a little bit sooner.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm being generous when I say one. There were a couple.
I was going to say maybe 3 or 4 for me, yeah.
Okay, but there were also a couple of times when he threw the ball away, which – all right, it's still 18 of 24 on his completions, so it wasn't happening a lot. He didn't have to do it a lot. The one thing that I think was interesting watching how the offense ran yesterday was, okay, what are we going to do about this Myles Garrett fella? Because he's not just coming in from the left. They were moving him around. He was just a menace in multiple areas yesterday. How are we going to combat that? Well, we're going to run it just enough to keep him honest, and then we're not going to shy away from the throw entirely. Getting sacked 5 times can't be fun, but they didn't abandon the passing game as a result, and they managed to figure out a way to still move the ball by both running the ball to save Drake May from getting sacked 6, 7, 8 times by the same guy, and also still be able to throw it, and I thought that was impressive.
It's insane that if you had told me before the game, Myles Garrett is going to have 5 sacks on Sunday.
Patriots lose.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
Patriots lose.
Not, they might win, toss up.
No.
Close game.
They might even get blown
7.
out if Myles Garrett has 5 sacks.
Win by 10.
Oh, yeah.
They won by 19. So the point about Myles Garrett is a great one because I think it's a good reminder that when you have players who are that great, the other word you can describe them with is inevitable. Okay, Myles Garrett is going to get his. It'll be a quarterback hit. It'll be a sack. It'll be a pressure. It'll be this and that. The way Drake May is playing right now, Drake May is inevitable. The first play I just listed at the start of that second half, it was not this big play action bomb, the booty, the beautiful, he's got time in the pocket and just drops a dime. It was a scramble, which says, hey, when things break down, he's got a plan B. The quarterbacks who have been here before, and this is obviously not a knock on Brady, but Mac Jones, right? The play wasn't there. Did not have a plan B.
True.
His plan B was panic. This kid at 23 not only can run from you, he can extend the play and throw. He can stand in and take a hit. He can create something from nothing, and he's going to do some things that are stupid and you want him to get rid of the ball. But overall, if you're a defense, what do you take away from him? Because he can do everything on the football field a quarterback can't to hurt you, and every single team the Patriots have played has found that out already.
All right, one quick thing before we get to the top of the hour. One strange bit of news. Christian Barmore didn't play in the first quarter, and the media asked Mike Vrabel why.
Yeah, I had to make a decision. My job is to protect the team, so when there's actions that I don't feel like are commensurate with what we want to do here, I got to make a decision, and we move on.
So he was suspended for the first quarter. Andrew, you have any idea why that was?
No, nothing on this yet. I was the person who went up to Christian and asked him to speak. Hey, typical thing you say is like, you got a minute? Can we chat? No. I said, can we just talk about the game? Understanding why he was maybe upset. No. And I said, Christian, man, this like he came on my podcast a month ago, and like we're not buddies, we're not friends, but there's at least an understanding of who I am, and I understand who he is. And when I started to make a third, just like, hey, like this is part of the policy. Like if you're an NFL player, you have to talk after games. That's the deal. I didn't make the rules, but I know what they are. And before I could get the third part out to try to meet him halfway, he goes, I got a meeting, and then left, which like is honestly a little funny, and I'm not upset by it, but players are obligated to speak midweek and after the game. I understand why, if he was suspended, and it sounds like he was, that he wouldn't want to talk to the media. But it's just a little odd because they've won 5 straight. That locker room is full of good vibes, and he's going out on his own and a little cranky, I think is fair.
Once he got in there, he was fine. There wasn't any residual stuff left over, no pouting. He was good, but it's just kind of strange that A, Vrabel admitted that he in fact did suspend him, and B, that Barmore was angry enough that he would want to speak about it afterwards.
Yeah, he said there were actions that were not commensurate or kind of in line with what they want to be, and Vrabel's answer kind of said to me, like, you're making me do this. Like, I had to make a decision, which means someone forced upon me this choice. Do I suspend him? Do I let this go? Again, what that action was or how bad it was, I don't know. I'm still trying to find out. And I think somebody will. It might be our guy coming up in 20 minutes, Mike Reese. But the point is, it was small enough where it was only a quarter. And when your, I don't know, top 5, top 10 best players doesn't play, and wasn't on the injury report, you know it's for something else.
All right. Mike Reese is going to join us at 7:20. We'll go around the NFL later in the show here today, too. Bob Socci is going to be here at 9 o'clock, so lots more on the Patriots and their win yesterday over Cleveland. But we need to touch on both the Celtics and the Bruins, both in action over the weekend. Celtics as recently as yesterday, so we'll do that briefly and then get back to the football with Mike Reese at 7:20 here on Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots Express keeps on rolling. They overcame another slow start to run over Cleveland 32-13 in Foxborough. Drake May touchdown passes to Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs, and Kayshon Boutte. Patriots winning streak is 5. They're 6-2. They play Atlanta in Foxborough this Sunday. The Falcons lost big to Miami yesterday, 34-10. They'll arrive with a record of 3-4. The Celtics' season-opening losing streak is now 3 after they allowed 18 offensive rebounds in a 119-113 Detroit victory yesterday. Jaylen Brown scored 41 points. Celtics are back at it tonight in New Orleans. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 over on 105.7 WROR. The Bruins play in Ottawa tonight against the Senators. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Yesterday, the team officially placed Hampus Lindholm on injured reserve and called up defenseman Jonathan Aspero from Providence. Toronto goes to L.A. to play the Dodgers in Game 3 of the World Series tonight, even at a game apiece. And in college football news, LSU reportedly fired head coach Brian Kelly last night. He has 6 years and $53 million left on his contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the new grilled teriyaki chicken available every Monday through Wednesday for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Get the app.
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
My buddy and me.
With friends like these,
Climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
They're a big team. They rebound really well, crash the glass. So, I think this is part of growing. We learning each game how to keep getting better and better. Today, I think we made a step, and that's how you gotta look at it. It's just, did we get the result we wanted? No, but are we taking a step?
Of a flight delay upon further investigation and not knowing the exact flight that Fred was taking yesterday, but knowing his proclivity to fly Delta and using just deduction, John, figure when Fred would be most likely to fly out of Cincinnati, where he was attending the Bengals-Jets game yesterday. We have determined that Fred's flight was not only not delayed, but left about 5 minutes earlier than scheduled. So his reason for not being here is, it's under scrutiny. That's all.
I'm sure you will ask him about this tomorrow.
Do you think it'll come up?
So we did some research into your flight, Fred.
Could you save it for the 8 o'clock hour?
I don't think so.
You coming back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
All right, good.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right,
Yeah.
We should just do 2. Fred should have us 2 stats from his trip.
2 stats and a lie.
I came in today. Give me the week off tomorrow.
That should be his penance.
Yes.
If he did in fact come home earlier than anticipated, as opposed to later as was initially.
He's
reported.
already told the lie. He just needs.
But it could be a 3-lie week, so you never know.
Oh, that's a good point.
More points for us.
That's true. That's true. All right. So we're going to get back to the Patriots here in a moment and lots more NFL, but we do need to touch on what's going on with both the Celtics and the Bruins. We'll start with the Celtics. We're playing the Pistons in Detroit yesterday.
Celtics 0-2 heading into a game against the Pistons yesterday, and they got off to I don't know if you've heard this, they got off to a really good start.
White, he'll shovel past for Pritchard, going to call his own number, and that number is 3. Another timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff.
And Pritchard's finally just saying, damn, I finally made one. That was an easy opportunity for him. Great shooters, but he continues to shoot the basketball.
The Celtics were up 14-2 and 29-12 in the first quarter of this one. Things looked pretty good at the start, but what do we know about the NBA?
That it doesn't matter until the last, I was going to say 5 minutes. My dad used to say, oh, what are you watching this crap for? You only have to watch the last 5 minutes of an NBA game. I hate to admit that he was right, but he was also wrong. You really, now you need to watch the last 2 minutes. But is that what you're trying to get, John?
I was going to say no lead is safe.
Okay,
Anytime
no
in the
safe,
NBA, I've seen the Celtics blow 30-point leads late in the third quarter. They were only up 17 in the first. that's really nothing much to speak about.
Fourth assist along with a game-high 23 points. Thompson leans in on Derek White, scored that in the foul.
Derek White, reach, you reach, I teach. Hands in the cookie jar, slap down on the arm.
So Sir Thompson puts Detroit ahead in the third quarter, and just like that, the Celtics are behind. Jaylen Brown was listed as questionable before this game, left hamstring reconditioning, but he did play and had a big night to keep his team in it.
Holland has to make a play, so he gives it up to Asor Thompson, who bricks a three. At the shot clock, buzzer off the back iron. Rebound, Derek White. Celtics down 13. Jalen looking for an open. Stops short on Stewart. Now ducks the shoulder, drives, scoops, and scores. Jaylen Brown has answered the bell today.
Yeah, he's competing.
Jaylen Brown, 41 points, almost single-handedly kept the Celtics in it, but Cade Cunningham and the Pistons wound up owning the second half.
7-point margin here, 100-93. Detroit by 7. Cunningham drives, floats it with the right hand, and scores. That's a tough shot.
That is. I mean, coming back, going with your right hand, then going to the left. Little floater.
102-93.
Cunningham scored 24 points. Detroit wound up with a 119-113 win. As we mentioned, Jaylen Brown, 41 points.
25 for Cade Cunningham.
What did I say?
You said 24.
I'm sorry, 25 points. I wouldn't want to shortchange your hero one, so 25 points. Jaylen Brown, 41 for the Celtics, but they lose again. They're 0-3 to start a season for the first time in 12 years. They allowed 18 offensive rebounds in this game, 30 second-chance points for Detroit. Jalen Duren, who is nothing if not a rebounder, 25 points, 17 rebounds, either 8 or 9 offensive rebounds. This has been a thing with the Celtics. They have a lot of trouble rebounding the basketball, and in the first half, Detroit rebounded 48% of their misses. So 1 out of every 2 shots that they missed, they got back. You can't win games like this. Celtics are having a lot of trouble on defense and a lot of trouble rebounding. You know what else they're not doing well? Shooting threes. They are in the bottom 5 in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage through the first 3 games. 3 games, not a big sample size for an 82-game season, but considering what the Celtics lost, this could be a pattern. They have to figure out a way around this. Things are not good early.
Jaylen Brown was, I'm sorry, Andrew, but Jaylen Brown was the only one who was shooting the 3 well yesterday. He was 5 of 9. Derek White, 3 of 11. Pritchard, 2 of 8. He needs to be better. And just for our purposes of watching the Celtics, I'm wondering how they're going to do without Jason Tatum. You're going to make it double tough on yourself if you drop a couple, and then number one, you're expecting to get a win or wanting to get a win against the Pistons. I saw yesterday that they have like the first team maybe in NBA history that tripled their win total from one year to the next. So they're on the rise. And then for the Celtics, you're putting the likes of Hugo Gonzalez out there to start the game, who gave you 0 points. And I know he's not out there to do that, but you're already hamstrung. You drop your first couple of games. You're looking for that first win. That's a tough spot to get it against that team yesterday.
So there are parts of this start where they're 0-3, and these stats are courtesy of Sean Grandy. By the way, just sneaky best stats follow maybe I have on Twitter, and like the NBA lends itself to some more numbers maybe than football.
Just finding this out, Grady's been doing this for a while.
I just want to give him credit because I've been able to say so.
Yep.
They're 30th out of 30 teams in
defensive
rebounding.
Thank you.
You're welcome, John. They're 29th in total rebounding. They're 23rd on defense. The true shooting, which encapsulates where are you on the floor and how much those points are worth, 24th. And so there are parts about this team that I was arguing with Felger of all people, like why I think the Celtics are way under, and I don't think this is a good team. You can't do anything about
and
the
he's
talent.
so passionate about the Celtics. So you really got to
hammer the over.
Yeah, got to come in with guns blazing.
Couldn't name a center for me, but the point is
doesn't know where they play.
Like the talent isn't going to change. The talent is a talent, and the talent is a problem, specifically in the front court. So, like, look, you can't be 30th in rebounding, but they're probably not going to finish above 20th this year. So what can you do to offset that? They need to create more on the free throw line. And we mentioned the Jaylen Brown threes that Hardy just cited, 5 of 9. He was also 12 of 15 at the line. This is a team that is good of a jump shooting team as it's been. Does not get to the line. It doesn't foul. You need to create high efficiency shots and get to the rim. So that's where you need to go if you're this team. You also need to force turnovers. And I think as they're turning over their identity from a team that does not chase turnovers, does not foul, to one that will full court press a little bit, it'll take time to instill this identity. But when you lose games, let's say they start, 4-10, right? You don't have much margin for error to catch up, even in the East, to get back to where they were 42 wins. I think this is still probably just a play-in team. But there are things they need to do around their deficiencies that they're not doing right now, and that's why they're 0-3.
Well, one of the things, and we see now why Joe wanted to do this, Joe wanted to run. He wanted to run a lot, and that would mask some of the defensive problems and some of the rebounding problems. But through the first 3 games, the Celtics are in the bottom 5 of the NBA in pace. Other teams see what they're trying to do. They'll slow it down a little bit. Joe is trying to work through this and find a game plan that fits the roster he has, but you lose Porzingis and Horford, who not only are tremendous defensive players, they actually can shoot threes very well. And you also lost Drew Holiday, who by all accounts last season and while he was here was the quarterback of the defense while he was out there. So you've lost a tremendous amount of talent.
Well, how about Tatum as a help
both
defender?
End of the floor, obviously Tatum hurts as well, but at the same time, I'm talking about the talent that you lost that you weren't sure you were going to lose. You knew you weren't going to have Tatum for this. Now you've lost these 3 players who not only are rotational players, but help you in a tremendous way at both ends of the floor. Neemias Queta has been better than I thought he was going to be, but he can't shoot from beyond 5 feet. That's a problem in this offense.
Well, they can't protect the rim either. So that's the thing is, okay, you had good perimeter defenders, and I think Holiday fell off a little bit more last year than people wanted to admit, but you still have Derek White, you still have Jaylen Brown, you still have Jason Tatum. Half those guys are gone now. So when people get by your Peyton Pritchards and your Derek Whites and Jaylen Brown, who is now shouldering, as we all know, a much bigger load offensively, so defensively doesn't have as much energy, it's just a runway to the rim. And then you have guys who are going to take time. Again, Kate is going to figure out how to not foul out like he did in the opener against Philly, which is the one game this year you go, really should have won that one. But that's where the pressure and the forcing turnovers will help offset that. Okay, you're probably going to get biased. But in the meantime, I'm going to gamble. And when it pays off, we'll get 2 points the other way. And that's the kind of high-variance game they need to play on defense to, again, offset offensively, which is going to be a struggle because, again, you're not protecting the rim and you're not scoring the paint until you get your guys accustomed to attacking like Jaylen Brown was yesterday.
And you also have the defensive lapses from quarter to quarter. You saw Philadelphia get 42 in the fourth quarter of the first game. You saw the Knicks, I think, outscore them 42-14 in the second quarter of the second game. And, every once in a while, there'd be those lapses. Detroit got 70 points between the second and third quarter combined last night.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll play good defense in stretches, but not nearly long enough.
And even for that game where Detroit pulled away and that early lead that Celtics had been erased, Celtics had a chance at the end, but we saw turnovers once again hamstring them at the end of the game. Jaylen Brown, for all the credit that he deserves for his 41 points and for the way he's leading this team right now, he had a bad turnover at the end of the game where they were trying to score, and there was still a chance, but he's shouldering so much right now that to hang really any of it on him after he drops 41 is silly. It just illustrates that he can't do it all himself.
And they should get more from Anthony Simons, which, again, early season NBA, teams have defensive lapses. You're building chemistry. You're changing your identity. They deserve some grace here. But Simons is a guy who is a made guy in the NBA. And he needs to shoot better than he is from 3, which is below his career average. He needs to have more than 6 rebounds in 3 games. And I know he's coming off of the bench, but there's just something here that even if you don't like Anthony Simons, as a player and a fit in this team, the best thing the Celtics can do is showcase him before the deadline and then ship him out, because I don't think he's a long-term piece here. He does not fit the defensive identity they want to play with. He's one of the worst defenders in the league. But offensively, he's got to get going, because if you're going to offload him and his contract and flip it for a pick or whatever you want as they continue to offload money and salary, he needs to play better than he is right now. This is not helping anybody now or in the future.
Celtics play in New Orleans tonight, second night of a back-to-back. Watch the status of Jaylen Brown. Brown listed as questionable before last night's game, and after watching what the Celtics did with Al Horford for about 5 or 6 years, he would be listed as questionable for the front end of a back-to-back, but he'd only play in one of those 2 games. This sounds like what they were planning on doing with Jaylen Brown. They were only going to play him one of these 2 games. I think, if I had to read the tea leaves, he may not play tonight.
Oh, great.
Second
I love
night of the back-to-back, even though they're 0-3.
the way he was listed was right hamstring conditioning.
Yeah.
It makes me want like an injury report when you're going on a night out and you just want to bail. Like, I'm questionable. And instead of I don't want to get dressed and like stay up late and I just want to be here at home, I've got, like sleep conditioning, like
Yeah.
this is this.
Yes.
Put me down as questionable. This is what it is. This is kind of, hey, I'm probably not going to make it. But there's a chance.
Just briefly on the Bruins, they did get a win over the Avalanche on Saturday, 3-2. The Avalanche going into that game, John, I believe, were the one of two unbeaten teams in regulation.
They were 5-0-3 heading into the game. Yes.
Early into this season, and Morgan Geekie with a nice goal, which I think those types of goals are the ones that the Bruins are going to have to rely on until they get something more going offensively. Just a hustle goal where he digs the puck out from behind the net. That made it 3-1 at that point, and that was the eventual game winner as they get the 3-2 win.
They got outshot. They got outshot again, but Swayman played well. And we've talked since the season started. The Bruins have a very narrow path to walk if they want to win games against good teams. They have to play very good defense. The goaltender has to show up, and they have to scratch out a couple of greasy goals, and that's what happened. Morgan Geekie got the goals. Swayman makes 31 saves, and they beat a team that a lot of people think is the best team in the National Hockey League, 3-2. But the problem now is injuries, and that's another thing we're worried about. In order for the Bruins to succeed, everyone has to stay healthy. Hampus Lindholm has missed the last 4 games, apparently because of a hamstring. They placed him on injured reserve yesterday, and that's more procedural than anything else. IR rules in the NHL say you have to miss a week. But Lindholm's been out 4 straight games and 7 of the last 8. I think they just did this to create a roster spot now, and they could just put him out there. He's eligible to come back whenever he's healthy enough to do so because they retroactively said, okay, he's been on injured reserve since October 9th because that was the last game he played in. So he's beyond the 7 days. He can come back whenever he needs to. But they're to the point now where like, all right, we need an extra defenseman in here. So,
all right,
called one up.
We're going to get back to football here with Mike Reese, who will join us next on Toucher and Hardy here on the Sports Hub. Hold on.
More.
introductions. I was asking Drake and Hunter about it. Coach Vrabel talked about wanting to create a little energy in the stadium, give the fans a chance to maybe liven it up. What was your sort of experience with that? Did you feel that difference from the past?
Yeah, I think it was cool. First time doing it, I didn't know what to do though, so I kept it simple, just kept running.
Toucher and Hardy without Fred this morning, but Andrew Callahan is here, and now Mike Reese is here. He is ESPN's NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots. Mike, pleasure to have you on this morning. How are you?
Good morning, Hardy. Good morning, John. Hey, Andrew. How we doing?
We're
excellent.
We're doing great. When did you get back? Or excellent. When did you get back? How was your day? I'm thinking about Fred. I'm thinking about Fred being on the road.
Was your flight not delayed too?
Yeah, we had a big mystery about that.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got another email. Fred's not with us this morning because of
it sounds like he died.
A flight delay.
Fred's
and
not with us.
John was gone over the weekend, Mike, and he drove back from Philadelphia, and I have a guy arguing with me via email that I'm stupid for saying he should have flown because going to the airport and flying to Philadelphia is a bigger hassle than the over 6-hour drive that John had yesterday with his family of 4 with him in the car. I'm like, you're missing the point. It's being in the car with a family for over 6 hours sucks. And this guy's like, oh, but shuffling through the airport is so much easier. Yes, it is. Because they're not like babies or infants. They're teenagers. Fine, go to Starbucks. I'm going to sit here and read my book and wait for boarding. It's actually kind of nice. I don't mind it at all.
Philadelphia airport sucks. I mean, there are delays if at one drop of moisture, but at the same time, it would have been faster.
It would have been faster, and B, it still would have been better. It's no stress. It's not my stress. Okay, the flight's delayed. So what? I'll just sit here. I got a book. I'm great. I'm fine. Leave me be.
Spent a lot of time on Route 84, Mike.
Yeah.
A lot of time on Route 84 yesterday.
All right, Mike. How happy are you, though? 6-2. I mean, come on. Every week we say the same thing. Did you see this? Did you expect this? 6-2, Mike.
I know. Hardy, I do want to say, I got caught in the Fred thing last year with Buffalo. I had a similar thing where I like to fly there because it's like 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. But flight delay. Flight ended up never taking off, and I said I should have just hopped in the car and drove. So sometimes, you know what I mean? You get like a few times where it doesn't work out for you.
The grass is always greener, huh, kid?
Yeah.
All right.
But to answer, Hardy, to answer your question, I still can't believe what's happening, how fast it's turned around. And it's not just that they're winning games. My thought this week is how they're doing it. That was a close game. It was going exactly how I thought it was going to go at halftime. And then it was like they just buried the Browns. And when you can play like that and just turn it on and explode, that's a sign to me of a team that's got a lot of good things happening for it right now.
So, Mike, can you help me? Because I think this is going to be on us the next couple of weeks, where the deeper the Patriots get in, the more national attention they'll have. What can we do to separate what's happening on the field and feel sustainable versus the soft schedule? Because when you just isolate it to yesterday, and I've been on the record, look, they're 6-2 against the spread. They're blowing these bad teams out. I think there's a lot here that's real. But there's an element of as soon as the Browns were down 2 scores, they were drawing dead. And they knew it because they're calling trick plays in the second quarter to get themselves going, which told you how confident they were, even with the lead at that point. So what do you see that's real? And what is the stuff that you go, this might be just the product of getting to play the dregs of the league?
Oh, good. It's good thoughts, Andrew. I mean, my feeling is just think about where we were last year. Like, they were those teams. Like, you were with me. How depressing was it coming out of a bye in December? You're already out of the playoffs, and you're traveling to Arizona with 4 games left. Right? Like that you were those teams and you couldn't beat them last year. So I think it's real in the sense of you're no longer in that category. And really, Andrew, to me, this is like wide open. They're going to lose some games. Like you can almost see what's going to happen. They could lose 2 weeks from now in Tampa and people will say, oh, now that they're playing a better team. To me, I look at it, I guess here's how I would answer the question. They played 8 games. They've been in all 8 games, no matter which team they've played. And how many teams in the NFL can say that? Usually there's a dud in there, and they haven't had that yet. And to me, that's a sign of a good team.
I'm looking at Drake May, and it seems kind of boring from the outside looking in. Oh, May's great, but I was discussing this with Andrew earlier. He hasn't faced a lot of adversity this season. He's just been so good, and he threw a really bad interception in this game. And Myles Garrett was constantly knocking him down and sacking him. And in the second half, he shook all of that off and was brilliant in the third quarter. It just seemed to me that was another box that he had to check last night, and he passed with flying colors.
John, I see it the same way. And that's just like a team. Every week is a different challenge. And, he hadn't thrown an interception since week 3. So I think it's the play that you mentioned, like a bad pick that he throws, but it's also like it had been a while since he had thrown one. And the last one he had thrown had been, at home. So it sort of brings you back to that Steelers game a little bit. And that's pretty good defense over there. And I just thought his toughness that he showed, that, like you said, I couldn't have said it better. It just checks another box.
I've made my peace with teams scoring on their opening drives, but it's got to be driving Vrabel crazy. Watching that happen again. What's going on, Mike?
So did you hear him? He had talked about in practice last week, he had Ben McAdoo, one of the assistant coaches, put together a script as if like he was Kevin Stefanski, the opposing coach, and they ran the script against the defense. So they're really trying to dial in on getting this thing fixed. I went back, watched it really fast before coming on. They had him in a good situation, 3rd and long. Marte Mapu looked like, and Andrew, you can help me on this because I know you're dialed in on the film. It looked like he got picked, maybe didn't have great awareness as to what was coming.
Yep.
And that was on the 3rd down play. So they're one play away from getting off there. And then a little over aggressive, I thought, on the blitz call with Spillane on the touchdown. And they had their big personnel in the field and didn't play it great, so maybe a little over aggressive on the touchdown call. So I don't think they're that far away, but that's what happened on the opening drive yesterday.
Yeah, and you see some similar things, right, week to week, where it's quick game or the bootlegs. Like Carlton Davis falls down in the same way that like Mapu did, though Mapu got picked, and I'm talking about Tennessee with Carlton Davis. The one thing, though, the last 2 weeks that has been the most obvious constant and is new is the running game. And they've had over 175 rushing yards each of the last 2 games. This, most impressively, was against the best run defense in the league as of 24 hours ago. What did you see that, again, feels sustainable? What was most encouraging about this besides just the stats that I rattled off to you?
So I thought Travion Henderson, Andrew, that was a good game from him. I think he played 14 snaps. I think he had 10 carries or 9 carries. So getting to the perimeter, that stood out to me with him. So mixing in some inside runs with the perimeter stuff. And I think I heard Mike Vrabel mention this morning, like Drake helps. Some of those rushing yards are not necessarily scripted, right? And I know we've been talking about him balancing when to run and sliding and all that stuff, which is still a fair conversation. But when he can run and pick up yards like he can, that really helps your running game and sort of breaks the spirit of the defense as well.
All right. We know the Patriots are great. Drake May is great. Everybody's great. I want to know, I saw a picture you posted before the game, let's go through this.
Let me set this up, John.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is from 9:05 a.m. yesterday. Mike Reese on Twitter.
4 hours before kickoff.
That's late, by the way, for Mike.
It is?
Yeah,
Stadium empty. Okay, the workers are not there yet. Mike Reese is there. In the press box, the tweet says, weather forecast for Patriots-Browns kickoff 1 p.m. ET, Fox Sports. A lot of information already. 53 degrees, no precipitation, sunshine, wind around 7 miles per hour.
From what direction, Mike?
Ideal New England autumn day for football, leaf, football emoji, and a photo. What is the photo? Is it of leaves? Is it of a football? No, it's a photo of his setup in the press box at Gillette Stadium. You can see the stadium in the background, empty. And he has his laptop, He has the game day program, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different snack items next to his computer.
I have so many questions. First of all, do you raid a Trader Joe's before you arrive, or is this a normal thing for you? And do you actually finish all of that by the end of the game?
Good questions. First of all, I have to be there early because I was on the pregame show on 98.5, which starts at 10 o'clock on game day. Best pregame show.
So you need to be in the stadium and set up with all your snacky snacks an hour before the show starts. Not to mention, I don't know when your appearance is. It starts at 10. When do you go on the show?
I mean, it was at 10:15. 10:15.
Okay, so you're set up with your snacky snacks an hour and 10 minutes before you got to go on with those guys. All right.
Yes. All right. And so I don't finish them all, and Andrew can attest to this. Some press boxes we visit over the NFL, the food is eat at your own risk, right? So I have to bring my own stuff.
Okay, so you brought Coffee Lovers espresso beans.
Yeah, I got to have the energy.
It looks like these are cough drops in front of the Coffee Lovers. A banana, an RX bar, which are vile.
Oh, no. What?
Oh, my God. You got the egg white, almond, cashew, and dates bar.
Really?
Yeah, there's
that's
nothing.
disgusting.
There's nothing in that.
What do you mean there's nothing in that? You just said everything that was. It's good.
Nothing that you want to eat.
Oh, man.
Mike and Ike's sour watermelon.
Oh, good. Yep, needed those for later.
Cup of tea.
Yeah,
good. I can tell it's a coffee cup, and I can see the tea bag on the side.
If that's not Bigelow, we got big problems. We got Bigelow problems.
Right. That's a good point.
It's a mint medley herbal tea. We'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Rice cracker medley.
Yes.
A little bowl of watermelon cubes.
Perfect. Had to eat that early because you want to,
Well,
can't leave it out.
you already have the sour watermelon Mike and Ike's? Aren't you doubling
Those
up?
are for later.
Oh.
Those are for later, Johnny. Get 6 o'clock. You're writing. You need a little pick me up. That's when those come in.
An apple and what appears to be a Ziploc bag brought from home of peanut butter stuffed pretzels.
Those are great if you ever need something to get you from lunch to dinner and just a little protein.
They come in the big jar.
Yeah. Yep. That's really that's a good setup. That's one of my better setups. I liked it.
Did you eat all of this?
No, didn't finish it. So you carry some over to next week. Obviously, the produce that needs to be eaten over the next couple days. But no, that was pretty good. I actually forgot some things at home too. My sister had asked me. She said, "Where are the snap peas we bought the day before?" I sort of forgot.
Where are the snap peas? All right, you know what, Mike? I think you've done a subpar job of defending yourself. So we're gonna bring in fake Mike Reese to help you out here. You know what, guys? You need your protein. You need your carbs. You talk about competing for 60 minutes. Yeah. I need something to carry me throughout the day. It's a long day. No bigger games than game day. I got to deal with Zoe. And you know what? I'm going to have my pretzels, and I'm going to have my Mike and Ike's. No more Reese's Pieces. We're past that.
Oh, yeah.
But, guys, it's about a well-balanced diet on game day. So when the fourth quarter comes, I'm the best that I got. And that's what I have. Some extra in the tank.
Hold on a second. I'm glad you brought up Zoe because
here we go.
Scott
What do you mean you got to deal with Zoe?
Scott and Rentham is on the line. Go ahead, Scott.
You want to talk about what a freak this kid is? He didn't even mention 6 hours prior when Mohegan's son watching Bryan Adams. He made six signs to hold up so Bryan could see him. They confiscated them at the entrance. So Mike painted signs that they took.
What?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yep.
So
and then Reese went last night to the Garden to see Bryan Adams again, back-to-back nights. This kid's a freak.
Okay.
Wow.
So we'll talk to you some more later. Thank you.
Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Reese,
yeah.
You went to a concert on Friday night or on Saturday night. Where?
Mohegan Sun. I was with Zoe, my friend Matt, who works for Craft Sports Productions. We had a great time.
Matt Smith?
Yep.
Oh, God.
So that's what the snacks were for.
What a crew.
Recovery.
What a crew.
And then preparation for Sunday night.
And so you go to Mohegan Sun on Saturday night. You have to. What time did you get to Gillette Stadium? Because the photo was snapped at 9:05. What time did you get to Gillette?
Like maybe 8:30.
I know where you live. That's an hour and 45 minutes back from Mohegan Sun after that, right?
No, it was an hour 30, John, and it was. I mean, you're just flying.
Somebody's got a lead foot.
No. You're and you got the energy from the show, John. It was amazing. I mean, incredible, right? So. Yeah.
No, once you get to Northern Connecticut, the shine is off. Then you have that extra long ride home.
And so
Come on.
Okay, so you got a long night the night before, down to Mohegan Sun, back. You're at the stadium early on Sunday. You work the game. You have reports to file. You got to write. You got to do TV. And then you went to see the same person last night?
Yeah, and I was with my son who's 13, so it's like that's I mean, it's unbelievable. It's like the best weekend. You mentioned like I don't know how you described it. To me, it's like exhilarating, right? So the energy.
No, let me tell you what exhilarating is. If someone had called me at say 6:00 yesterday and say, you know what, the concert is canceled tonight, I would say, oh, thank God. I don't know that I would. I don't know that. You never had that feeling, Mike, of the elation over canceled plans?
You're nuts. How many people you think were there last night at the Garden? Take a guess for Pat Benatar opening up for Bryan Adams.
1,400.
12,000.
Whoa! They closed off the upper
dancing.
bowl.
Look, I want to say this because we'll put fake Mike Reese away for a second. I'm going to honestly defend my man here. To have that amount of energy on that big of a work weekend, to do that back to back, there are kids half Mike's age who would not do that because of what Hardy just said. Oh, I want to go to bed. Oh, I don't have the energy. To go pursue your passions like this, talking about concerts, hearing about things, all the trips he's taken, we are learning the real Mike Reese right here, and I think there's a little bit of inspiration to be taken from this. Snacks aside, or maybe we should snack up. I don't know.
No,
but this is that is living life to the best and to the fullest because those are his passions, and that's what he's doing with his time. That's awesome.
I have to go to a concert with it. Mike and I have talked about going to see concerts together. It hasn't happened yet, but Mike, I'm going with you. This is admirable stuff.
Yes,
John,
yes.
I was so disappointed that I didn't know you can't bring signs anymore. Like I thought I remember seeing signs. They don't allow you to do it. It's all digital now, and you scan like a code and you request a song. But to me, I have my signs. I sent it to Zoe. It was 4 signs. I wanted the 3 of us to hold it up. We were going to recruit one other person, and it said one sign. It was One Night Love Affair, and he ended up playing it because someone else had requested it.
Nice. I need more on
Everything worked out anyway. All right, thank you, Mike. We're very late here, but I don't get you at all, at all. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the show.
See you, Mike.
I can't even. I got a knot in my stomach thinking about his weekend and how awful that would have been.
I want to know about the sign.
Okay, let's
confiscate.
Let's get. We'll continue this here in a moment here on Toucher and Hardy.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Make it 5 straight wins for the Patriots. They rolled over Cleveland 32-13 in Foxborough yesterday. Drake made 3 touchdown passes. Patriots 6-2. They host Atlanta this Sunday. Falcons 3-4 after getting run over in Miami yesterday, or by Miami yesterday, 34-10. Celtics are 0-3. They lost to Detroit 119-113 yesterday. They're back at it tonight in New Orleans. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 on 105.7 WROR. And the Bruins will play Ottawa tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers had the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hampus Lindholm placed on injured reserve yesterday. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. What we do here changes lives everywhere. Learn more at danafarber.org/specialist. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
on the Sports Hub.
If you told me a week ago today, Monday morning, that coming up on Saturday night, you were going to go to Mohegan Sun for a Bryan Adams concert, drive home. You're going to drive yourself there. You're going to drive home.
I don't care what he says. It's not an hour and a half back to where he lives from Mohegan. No chance.
And Mike Reese does not impress me as a speed demon.
No,
I don't think he's hitting 92.
He was high on the experience of the show, John, and he was just flying up the highway.
He was right lane 56 miles an hour.
That's a couple of Mike and Ikes, Forget a Celsius, man.
If you told me a week ago today that the following Saturday I was going to have to drive myself to Mohegan Sun, attend a Bryan Adams concert, and drive myself home, and then get up on Sunday morning, he probably left his house at 7:30 on Sunday morning. He said he got to Gillette a little after 8, right?
8:30, yeah.
8:30. Okay, so he left his house at 8 o'clock.
Just for reference, when do you usually show up for a home game?
Between 10 and 11.
Okay, so he's there at 8:30. It's not bad. He's close enough to Gillette, but still, you're going to be there all day. That is 8:30. There's no way he left Gillette before 5:30 yesterday.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, no chance.
No, the locker room, and he was there later because he's also doing WBZ with Rochi. And so game ends at 4. Locker room is open for an hour. That opens 15 minutes. So an hour and 15 minutes. So you're talking 5:15 at the earliest to wrap up. He had to write a story. So 6 at the earliest,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. And then traffic, no picnic leaving Gillette Stadium, especially on a nice day yesterday.
By then it's probably clear. But even going into the city
it's
at night.
not. I'm telling you, I used to stay for 2 hours after every game doing the post game on Patriots.com. The traffic is not clear, especially now that they have that lot where you have to stay until the end. They pay you to stay, so there are plenty of people who are staying much later to get the paid for parking, not the free parking, but they'll pay you to stay. Right? So heading up Route 1 after that, not all clear. To get home and then go to the Garden to see the same act I saw the night before at Mohegan Sun, you tell me that's my weekend coming up, it would ruin my entire week. I'd be thinking of nothing else other than the hellscape that was going to be my weekend.
So he had a pretty important detail in there, though. And I'm about to have a kid, and I think this would make a difference. He was there with his son, 13, who's not that into sports.
Stay home and play ping pong. That's great. That's a great night.
Ping pong versus Bryan Adams?
Yes!
I don't even really like Bryan Adams. Live concert, live show, man, he lives for that. If Mike got to be a music reporter,
what hole is
I think he would do it.
What hole is he filling up? He's filling up some hole in his soul with all these concerts.
Never saw
and all this
concerts.
running
Wasn't
around.
allowed to go to concerts when he was younger, maybe?
That would be a very simple and easy explanation, and I think it's something much, much darker. It can't be that simple, John.
There is something there with Mike.
Well, let's browbeat the hell out of
uncovered.
him next week and figure it out. What do you think? Just go after him.
I've never seen a crack. I mean, maybe one time when he got upset about something that was said about him and his reporting.
Oh, yeah.
And that was real. That was like a professional.
That was the afternoon show. He was not happy with that.
That was grown-up Mike Reese and really defending himself really, really well in a spot where I felt he was, as I remember, not that there was a side to it, but he was completely justified in getting pissed about it.
More than justified. I was there. Yeah, it was a BST show I did with Felger, and it was around some trade info from Brandon Ayuk that he had, and just immediately dismissing a guy. And Mike, who, look, I'm competitive with Mike on the beat. We have the same job as much as we're friends, and there's no one whose reporting is more immaculate. So he just trashed it as being team friendly and fed to him, and that Mike would run with that as a favorite of the team, as opposed to being an honest reporter.
Right.
And so this was as black and white as it gets.
Right.
Someone being a jerk and unfair and dishonest.
But that's the only
Mike Reese.
That's the only time I've seen him, lose his cheerful countenance.
Yes.
In any way, it's like he is that guy.
I told this to Wallach earlier, and this is
I don't get it.
My first year, second year in the beat. And, of course, I'd been following a lot of people, grew up in New England, knew who Mike was. And we had come back from the summer break, first day of training camp. Oh, how's your summer? It's like back to school. You're like, oh, what'd you do? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, man, I'm just happy to be back. And then I heard him curse for the first time in my life. Yes.
Did you say
I stopped in my tracks. I was like, that can't have come out of your mouth.
Jeez.
What did he say?
An angel.
Stinking?
No, it was a real bomb.
It was a real,
It was a real one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It just
Was it
shocked me.
Now I'm curious. Was it multisyllabic or was it just a one syllable thing?
One syllable.
Okay. All right. Well, it slipped out maybe.
Wow. Multisyllabic that we might have.
So it's the darkness you were talking about. Absolutely in there.
You know what? Well, I don't know.
It slipped out.
Sounds like a subtle shade of gray to me.
I'm going to grab
with a smile on.
This is probably a bad idea, but we're not going to be able to get to these calls later. Should I don't even see what they're about. Ryan, should I grab both these calls?
Let's do it blind.
Just tell me. What? 1 and 3, or just 1, or just 3?
This requires asking Nicholas.
Tell me.
What do you think? I'll take the first.
Let's go.
Take
I
one.
got my finger on the dump button. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Alf in Michigan, what's up?
Oh, fellas, I've been on hold for 2 hours and a week.
Okay, well, I appreciate you holding for so long, Alf. What do you got for us?
Yeah, but man, okay, so why is the guy with the Lions hat going to Cincinnati to watch the Jets play, man? I mean, what's going on over here?
Well, the guy in the Lions hat is not a Lions fan. He's a Jets fan, so he went to see the Jets play in Cincinnati. Do you understand?
Oh, how is he a Jets fan working for you guys?
Exactly.
I'm confused, but how about the Patriots?
Yeah, how about him? Are you at work right now, Alf?
I am. I have a customer right in front of me. You want to say hi?
Yeah, I do.
Good morning.
Good morning. What are you buying?
A little Coke for my tummy.
Oh, a little Coca-Cola?
Yeah, I drank a little too much last night.
All right, Coke. You're doing the Coke heavy. Don't do the diet, I hope.
Oh, God, no.
All right.
No. Regular Coke.
All right. Thank you. Say hi to Alf for us.
Yeah. Go Patriots.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
There he goes.
Wait till he finds out who you root for.
He's got a little Mitch Hedberg to him, doesn't he, Hardy?
He's so weirded out that Fred wears the Lions hat and roots for the Jets. He didn't even ask you.
Well,
that would have been great.
Ironically,
blown his mind.
Really got out unscathed there.
I wear my Lions hats with a lot less frequency than Fred wears his. So go figure.
Yeah.
All right, hold on a second. Let's grab Tom here because he's got something on Mike Reese's snacks. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good.
Hey.
So Trader Joe's, basically all their stuff is really good, but they have some really good snacks. They have these chips that are they're black bean and quinoa, and they don't sound that good, but they basically just taste like seasoned tortilla chips.
Okay.
And
Phenomenal
then
snack.
you can dip them in anything. I put them in buffalo chicken dip the other day, and I just passed out in a food coma for hours. It was great. I missed half a game, but I was totally happy.
I don't think that he's going to bring any dips with him, but that's
well,
that's
they
a good
have
call.
they have the prepackaged dips. Like you can get just like a sealed up, ready to go, pre-made. Boom.
I'll back him up on this. I've had Trader Joe's buffalo chicken dip. Wouldn't bring it to the game for the reason he mentioned. Like you get knocked out for an hour or two. Sounds like low-level street drug. You just back out like, oh, it happened. That's just Trader Joe's buffalo chicken dip.
What would you dip it in?
Thank you, Joe. All right, that's fine. All right, we're going to go around the NFL here and find out what else happened around the league yesterday with Andrew Callahan, who's in for Fred this morning on Toucher and Hardy. Hold on.
How come the dude got a Lions hat on?
Toucher and Hardy will be right back.
98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots got 3 touchdown passes from Drake May, 3 field goals from Andy Borregales, and a safety to beat Cleveland yesterday, 32-13 in Foxborough. May threw all 3 TD passes in the third quarter. He's the first Patriot to do that since Tom Brady 7 years ago. Another good thing for Mike Vrabel was that his team ran for 177 yards on the day.
I think we stayed committed. We make some interior runs. We hit some, outside plays, some perimeter runs, and then obviously the quarterback stuff helps.
Patriots now have 5 straight wins. They're 6-2 overall. They host Atlanta on Sunday. The Falcons got erased by Miami yesterday, 34-10. They'll come to town with a record of 3-4. Celtics were beaten in Detroit yesterday, 119-113. The Green got 41 points from Jaylen Brown, but couldn't hold an early 17-point lead. They are 0-3 now. They visit New Orleans tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 over on 105.7 WROR. Bruins will be in Ottawa tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7. The face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hampus Lindholm and his hamstring were placed on injured reserve yesterday. Toronto visits the LA Dodgers tonight in Game 3 of the World Series, even in a game apiece. And the Baltimore Orioles have reportedly hired Cleveland associate manager Craig Albernaz as their new manager. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Green Home Solutions. If you've got mold or funky odors creeping around your home or office, don't mess around. Visit greenhomesolutions.com/Boston to book your free consultation today. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, The Sports Hub.
I know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
Hit somebody.
All right, around the NFL, brought to you by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua. Starting to feel chilly around the house? Time to schedule your heating tune-up to avoid surprise breakdowns when the cold hits. Plus, save up to $4,400 in rebates and tax credits on new Lennox systems. Schedule at joycecool.com. joycecool.com, celebrating 30 years. Woo! They're not the only ones celebrating. The New York Jets and their fans are celebrating. They are no longer winless after the game in Cincinnati yesterday against the Bengals, although the Bengals looked like it was just going to be more of the same early on.
Here's a handoff to Samaje Perine, runs up the middle, inside the 20, racing to the 15, 10, 5, pylon, touchdown! Nice. Samaje Perine, and the Bengals push the lead back to 2 scores.
That's when I turned it off. I stopped watching intently. I only checked in periodically after that.
31-16 in the fourth quarter.
31-16. It's done.
The Jets on the road. Why wouldn't you turn it off?
It's done. It's over. It was not over.
8 minutes to go. The Jets in business. Handoff running right. Breece Hall at the 25-20. Gets to the sideline at the 15. Makes a man miss. Inside the 5. Gets to the pylon. He's in. That's a Jet touchdown. 27 yards. Breece Hall had no touchdowns this season coming into today. Now he's got touchdowns on back-to-back possessions.
No touchdowns before those 2 in a row for Breece Hall yesterday. They ended up going for 2 on that one.
Now, I'd like to ask Andrew this. You're down 1 score. It's 38-30. You kick the extra point. It's 38-31, and they still went for 2. Why?
You have, if you're down 38-30 and you just got the touchdown, you have to get the 2-point conversion at some point. So what you do then is you find out right away.
Hold on a second. If you want to win, to maintain something, you're looking to not lose at this point. If you're the Jets, I was thinking, like John is thinking, let's go to overtime and see what happens. We got a chance to win a game here. Let's not screw it up.
No, if you're the Jets, you need to win as soon as possible. The longer you play, the more likely it is the better team is going to win. You are not the better team. You take that risk, you'll go get it. You give yourself a chance if they get it to 38-32 to tie it up if you need to with 2 field goals. This was the analytically sound decision, which, by the way, when people argue against analytics, they do the nerd voice. You can push your glasses up and do the whole thing. How about just bold, aggressive football men doing bold, aggressive football things? Like, Dan Campbell is a meathead more than analytics genius. I don't know when it suddenly became the football man thing to do to be scared. Go for the points. Go get it. You say that's 6 feet. We got that. They did it. Good for them.
Okay, I don't always mind that. I do mind, but I'm used to it now. The Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down thing.
I hope so. Right now.
Seriously. But it more has to do with when you go for 2. And I'm always of the mindset, just wait. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we need it. You don't need it at that point. At some point, you're going to need it. We don't need it now. How about we just get the game to a touchdown, to a 7-point game, and leave it at that?
If you get, so that happened with 10:21 left in the game. If you're the Jets, you go, we might have 2 possessions here left. If you get the 2-point conversion, you still not only can take a lead if you get another touchdown with one of those 2 possessions left, you can tie the game if you get a field goal and then another field goal. If you just take the extra point, you're down 7, and not only do you have to get a touchdown, but when you get that touchdown, you can only tie the game. This gives you an opportunity to go ahead with 1 possession or tie it with 2.
My head hurts too.
This is simple.
Sure.
When you're down 6 and you get 7, you're up by 1.
Uh-huh.
If you're down by 6 and you have 2 possessions, you can kick 2 field goals and tie the game. But if you're down by 7 and you kick 2 field goals, it's worth nothing.
But with 7 minutes left, the odds of you getting 2 possessions and driving down the field are on both of them are.
What he just said makes the most sense out of anything, and I'll leave it at that. I get what you're saying.
Fair enough.
And I'm not saying I love it, but I get it. Okay.
By the way, the 2-point conversion.
I get that a lot.
The 2-point conversion by Justin Fields, some kind of sorcery for that to happen.
How good do you feel for that kid, though? The owner just absolutely puts him on blast earlier in the week in a way that even if that's exactly how Woody Johnson feels, and I have to advocate as a reporter for honesty and people in power telling you the truth. In this instance, be nicer to your quarterback. You don't have to throw him under the, if we could just complete a pass, Aaron Glenn would have another win. Justin Fields completed a lot of passes and under pressure and gave you a win, and God bless him for not putting Woody Johnson on blast after the game and just calling it outside noise.
We'll get to Justin Fields in a second. Let's get the final touchdown here, though, first.
Okay. Breece Hall, he's going to throw the ball. Pumps once, throws back in the end zone. It's caught. Mason Taylor, the option pass right by Breece Hall for a touchdown. And the Jets are a point after away from the lead.
How did that defender not make a better play on that ball? I've watched it 3 times. I'm like, did he jump? Did he jump early? It's like his feet were in. He was turned around. That's what it was. He was turned around. I don't think he ever saw the ball.
Mason Taylor caught that, but that was luck, right? He just threw it up for grabs in the end zone. He didn't know the defender wasn't going to turn around. I mean, the tight end's in the back corner of the end zone. He looked like he knew what he was doing, but
it was also
he didn't.
It was also a mismatch. I mean, just based on the size of whoever was on.
True, but that's not running through the corner. That's not running through Breece Hall's mind when he threw the ball.
What is going through Breece Hall's mind?
I think it was blank when he threw the ball blindly into the corner of the end zone.
When you're 0-7 and you finally get a win, there's a fair amount of luck involved.
Yes.
All right.
And that was part of it. Yesterday.
But to your point earlier, Andrew, about Woody Johnson and putting Justin Fields on notice or on blast, as you kids like to say, it seems particularly a mean thing to do because Justin Fields seems like a nice guy. He seems like a good dude. I don't know him from Adam, but
when I was on the field, I was damn near about to start crying. Not because we won, but just because of the goodness of God. I'm going to get pretty vulnerable right here, but this week I found myself in my closet crying on the ground, laying down.
I would like to thank you for your vulnerability, Justin. It takes a big man to be that vulnerable. I'm serious, right?
And I am that big man.
What? Jets get the win. Freddie T was there. I'm happy for Fred that he actually got to witness that.
Well, we don't know if he stayed for the whole game. We're not sure about this.
Oh, God.
Now, listen, this is just a guess by me, but would you put it past him to have left early when they were down in the fourth quarter?
No. I do that. I leave games early all the time. I don't think Fred does.
Did you leave the Lions playoff game early?
No.
Okay.
Mostly because we were walking back to the hotel and it didn't matter.
So
there's no crowd to beat. It didn't matter.
Fly, whatever it is, 26% across the country to go to that game, and you get a hotel that's nearby, and you're out with your son. I think you just have to stay.
I don't know
Fred as well as you guys, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope he did stay because that's a hell of a comeback.
I'll go all in on they stayed for the end of the
All right.
game. Okay? All right. Let's move on to Aaron Rodgers facing his former team, the only team that Aaron Rodgers has not beat. And there are a handful of quarterbacks who beat every team in the league. It's Brady, obviously, among them. For Aaron Rodgers, he had one more box to check off, and that was beating his former team, the Green Bay Packers.
Rodgers turns, throws, slant, right, touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers. It's DK Metcalf from 3 yards out.
Well on his way, right? Just keep it going there, kid. Oh, wait a second. The Packers, they're pretty good.
The handoff to Jacobs, bouncing right to the outside.
Oh, man.
He's to the end
What
zone.
a run.
Touchdown,
What a
Green
run.
Bay Packers. Wow. Josh Jacobs, another touchdown.
That gave the Packers a lead 22-19. Later on,
The snap to Love. Rushan throws the middle. Got his man. Cutting left to the 5 to the end zone. It is Tucker Kraft having a night. Wow. Touchdown Green Bay. They beat Chuck Clark on a crosser. 24-yard touchdown reception.
how was Aaron Rodgers looking to you at least early in the game?
He looks like a 41-year-old who doesn't want to get hit, wants to get rid of the ball really quickly.
Not as bad as I thought he was going to look this
Right.
year. He still looked pretty good yesterday, but it's when you watch Aaron Rodgers and you watch virtually every other team in the league right now, except for a couple that have the veteran quarterbacks, they're playing a different game at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers does not play the same game that the rest of the league plays in.
No, they have to
Can't.
pew, 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 their way downfield. Just very little
Yeah.
short throws, and he's still accurate. And the 2 touchdowns, the 0 picks looks good. But once the defense figures out, like, hey, there are parts of the field we just don't have to defend based on where he wants to go and where he doesn't. It makes it easier, and you saw that in the second half when the Steelers only had 9 points. Meanwhile, his replacement, Jordan Love, completes 20 passes in a row. And the stuff that Tucker Kraft, by the way, and I don't say this lightly, but Tucker Kraft on a couple of those catches looked like prime Gronk. Like Deshaun Elliott got injured trying to tackle that man, rumbling for 59 yards. You know the play I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I know what you're doing, but like, Jordan Love just threw it up, and then he's stiff-arming guys into the ground. Everything about it said, I've seen this before, but only from one person. Now it's been 2.
Well, to Aaron Rodgers' credit, he was gregarious in discussing his replacement after the game.
I thought J-Lo played great, and he was super efficient. You know, he didn't get sacked, moved around really well, made some plays outside the pocket. Thought he played outstanding.
All right. So
Nice.
Yeah, nice spot.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was better than I thought.
All right, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills, who have certainly had their issues so far this season. Not just the loss to the Patriots, but not looking like a team that was a Super Bowl favorite, picked by many for the preseason. But they assert themselves yesterday.
Ray Davis into the game here on this 1st and goal. He's the lone setback as Allen goes under center. There's the snap, and it's a sneak by Allen, and he's pushed into the end zone for the touchdown.
Looking pretty good after they only managed to put 3 on the board in the first quarter in Carolina against the Panthers, but 16 second quarter points. And the Bills were, let's just say, on their way in this one.
Allen going to work from the shotgun here. Back to pass. Quick hitter to Shakir. Spins away from the defender. He's up the sideline. 35-30. Down to the 20. Cuts it back 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. Khalil Shakir. Old reliable. Goes 54 yards to the end zone.
Wouldn't the Old Faithful be a better call there?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but the guy, the main man, James Cook, huge game yesterday and largely overlooked as far as top backs in the NFL. 216 yards, 2 touchdowns yesterday, and he did it on only 19 carries. He's number 2 in the NFL in rushing this morning to Jonathan Taylor. He has been, remember when he held out during training camp?
Oh, yeah.
And now he wanted his money. It looks like he's worth it. Pretty good.
One of the few backs that is. You know, like I say all the time, the good running backs are the ones who create yards on their own. It's not the rushing lanes given to you by the offensive line. Can you slip a tackle? Can you break a tackle? Yeah. And because 216 on 19 carries is preposterous. That's over 10 yards a carry for him. Josh Allen, by the way, only 163 yards, and the Bills still have a 40-burger.
Yeah, James Cook, not a large individual. What is he, like 5'11", 185?
Excuse me, did you say 40-burger?
40-burger.
That's unfortunate.
Why?
Because he liked you right up until then.
No, we've had a few of those before. Like, you just said what? He restrained himself when I said put on blast. He was kind about that. I was like, the kids say. I was like, yes, what this 34-year-old bald child says.
Anyone in the NBA have a 40-piece last night? That's another one. The 40-piece.
Do you like the...
Yeah.
So 40-piece suggests like 40-piece McNugget.
Yeah.
You know, 40 burgers. Like 50 burger sounds better,
Yeah,
granted.
40
but-
burger is
Yeah.
just douchey.
Douchey.
Yeah, a 40 burger?
So you like 40-piece better?
See, Beaton is okay with it, which leads me to believe this is a youth thing.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott after the game, he loved it.
I do value physical football, and it starts up front, whether you're throwing it or you're running it. I will say that I love physical football. That's where the game starts, and our front did a great job today.
There you go, 40-9 as the Bills improve to 5-2 on the season. A lot of 5-2s out there, a lot of 6-2s out there. There's a lot of teams that are right there in the mix, thinking about hey, and who's the team with the best record in the league right now?
Indianapolis Colts.
Unbelievable. So we'll get to them and some other games as we continue to go around the NFL next here on Toucher and Hardy.
Burger.
40 burger.
Sorry, I need to find something. Give me a moment.
You could take a 40-piece if you need it.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
We really doing this now? Okay. It's 20 past. Usually I go at 8:30. You still want me to go now?
No, I completely lost track of time.
Okay.
My apologies.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Looking for a spooktacular...
Everything all right back there at 12?
Yeah, I'm fine. I completely lost track of what time it was, which is not a good thing when you're the producer of the show.
I would have gone. If you said, let's do the update, I would have done the update.
You're a professional. I'm an amateur over here.
Man.
Holy crap.
Holy jeez.
All right, let's continue here. We'll go around the NFL and see what was happening with the Miami Dolphins yesterday, who were in Atlanta to play the Falcons. Tua Tagovailoa.
Play action, fakes. Slant to Waddle. Waddle's got a 20, 10, 5, touchdown Miami.
What a great fake, and he put it right on the money with Waddle and stride going across the middle, and nobody was going to catch that man.
That was after Miami had already asserted themselves, jumping out to the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. It was 17-3 at the half, and that touchdown there just put them well on their way.
To a shotgun, back to throw. He's got a wide open Ollie Gordon and a walk into the end zone. What a play design is that?
I mean, confused. There's nobody out there.
Play design, sure, but how's Atlanta's defense, Andrew Callahan?
Statistically good.
That's I had no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
They were number 2 in the league, right?
They were number 1 pass defense a couple of weeks ago. And so even though you lose a game like this, granted Miami's talented, but we've all seen them try to play football this year, and it's not gone well. It's not a bad defense in Atlanta. By the way, I have no hate in my heart generally walking around the street, waking up in the morning.
Oh.
I cannot stand this Falcons team. Like, can you just figure it out? Like, I have no reason to care about them except for you go on the road, you beat Minnesota. You beat Josh Allen on Monday night at home. Great play. Now you lose to the Dolphins at home, and Bijan Robinson rushes 9 times for 25 yards.
Don't forget they got shut out by Carolina at home, too.
Yes, you lose 30-0. Can you just decide who you are and what you want to be? It's like they're coming into Sunday, and I'm going to pick the Patriots to win. But I have no idea how this game is going to go.
By the way, one quick thing. Do you think there is a bettor out there that teased both the Jets and the Dolphins to win yesterday?
Oh.
What are the odds of that?
Oh,
how much
sure.
money could you have made?
Oh, my God. So I've been betting the Jets on the money line. Not every single week. There was, like a week or two where I thought the odds weren't great. They were plus 140 or something. I need more than that. I forgot to bet them yesterday. I need someone to either text or call or email me. Let me know what the spread was prior to the game, what the money line plus number was.
I got you.
If it was more than plus 200, I'm going to be really upset.
It must have been more than plus 200. The way Flacco was playing heading into that game?
I would have thought it would have been that way.
Flacco did play in that game.
I know, but I would have thought it had been plus 200 in previous weeks, and it wasn't, like plus 200 or more.
Plus 217.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be more.
217? All right. It's not like I was going to bet a ton of money because, let's face it, you're just trying to get, a little kiss, a little, on the plus money, but I forgot. Oh, that would have helped. All right. Let's go to the Cowboys game as they were in Denver to take on the Broncos.
3rd down and goal. Shotgun snap to R.J. Harvey. Harvey in the Wildcat takes it off right guard, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the game. Touchdown, R.J. Harvey.
That made it 20-10 in Denver. Cowboys didn't go away.
1st and goal from the 1. Under center, I formation. Lipke, the fullback, handoff. Williams blasting up the middle. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 on the ground for the former Bronco, Javonte Williams.
So after just the field goal in the first, they managed a touchdown in each quarter after that. But Broncos, they just had too much, especially Harvey. Already 2 touchdowns at this point.
Harvey in the flat, wide open. Harvey gathers it in, tiptoes into the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. Bo Nix's 4th touchdown pass of the game for R.J. Harvey. That is his 3rd touchdown. First by pass. And with 7:14 left in this one, it is all but over in the Mile High City.
I have a question for the room.
44-24, the final as the Broncos get
blew their doors off. Bo Nix looked great. What was it, 320-something yards? And a couple of, I'm having a hard time figuring out if Bo Nix is actually good or not. 15 touchdowns, 5 picks for the year, but he never has big numbers. Yesterday excluded. And
last night was only 247.
Oh, was it 247?
Yeah,
whatever it was. He was not. He was better last night. 4 touchdowns. That's his best passing effort of the season, but you keep hearing arguments on both sides. Well, he's got a great offensive line. He's got a great head coach. The running game helps. But then he goes out and throws 4 touchdown passes. I don't know if he's in the middle of the pack passer rating-wise. I think he's 14th or 15th. Is he good or is he not good?
I don't think Bo Nix is good. I think this is a case of the Dallas Cowboys being the NFL's slump buster, especially on defense. Bo Nix, hey, why don't you have a good game, get your confidence back? 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Bryce Young, a couple of weeks ago, beat the Cowboys. Before that, you had the Bears, who I think got their first win of the season against the league's worst defense. So, Cowboys are fun to watch, but if you kind of need to get right, you just kind of been down in your luck, just call up Dallas. They'll fix it. Here's the other thing about Bo Nix when I say I don't think he's good, because you look at the raw stats. That'll tell you, not bad. His completion percentage is below what the expectation would be per next-gen stats. It's bottom 10 right now based on that stat. And there's no one stat that'll tell you everything you need to know. Even his passer rating's 91. That's low for the league right now. This is a guy who throws the ball very short and is more of a system quarterback. That might be the best way to put what Bo Nix is right now.
By the way, who has the best passer rating in the NFL right now? Drake May.
Believe it?
Lamar Jackson technically is better, but Jackson's only played in half as many games. So we'll go on Drake May. Drake May is number 1 as of this morning, just ahead of Jared Goff.
Well, you mentioned the Cowboys' defense and how bad they are for Dak. And Jerry Jones spoke about that after the game, too, just saying, defensively, they're not where they want to be. It's almost like they lost a good defensive player, before the season started. But Dak Prescott, it just sounds kind of shell-shocked.
Surprised for sure. It's a good word to use. Frustrated as well. Frustrating. Yeah, as you said, right, what we've been doing, what we're capable of doing, didn't really ever get it going.
No, and he put up 24 points. You think that should be enough to at least keep you in a game. It was not, as the Cowboys defense just got worked.
No, and when you talk about Denver, too, I'm thinking in my head now, if the Patriots played there in a wild card game next weekend, how would I feel? As much as I don't feel good about Bo Nix, I wouldn't feel good about that matchup because their defense is legit.
Yes.
Dak Prescott was playing as well as any quarterback in the league. 188 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Patrick Surtain's already been an all-pro. Good pass rush, good linebackers. Depending on how that first quarter goes, you don't dictate terms to Denver. They can kind of wait you out a little bit.
All right. We mentioned the Colts earlier. They got the best record in the league right now, and they may have had the best catch of the weekend yesterday.
Shotgun snap for Jones, looking left. He's going to take a shot and throws a laser towards the pylon, and that is a catch for Michael Pittman Jr. Pittman scores a touchdown as Pittman snared it in with one hand on a 21-yard absolute dart.
He did indeed.
Wasn't even his hand. Didn't he get a guy pinned to his bicep and he brought it in? My God, what a catch.
It's one of those catches that you see, and it's like, it's just physics kind of defy how he actually came down with that ball. They're up 10-0 after the first quarter. That score there made it 17-7, and we haven't even mentioned Jonathan Taylor yet.
They give it to Taylor, left side. He's at the 20, 25, 30, 50-yard line, still going. Taylor up in the sideline. He's got a chance. 10, 5, touchdown! Jonathan Taylor takes it 80 yards to the house.
Jonathan Taylor not content, though, to just have 2 touchdowns in the game because there was a record at stake.
Jonathan Taylor cuts off a block. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's going to score again. Touchdown! Jonathan Taylor. And it's the 4th time this season Jonathan Taylor has 3 touchdowns in a game.
Lord.
Jesus. And he became the first player in NFL history to score 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games against the same team, as the Indianapolis Colts get the win yesterday over the Tennessee Titans, 38-14.
7-1. And they're getting on teams quick. And I can make this comparison because the Patriots just played Tennessee. There was no waiting around. They were up 10-0 quickly. Patriots seem to, as they have all year, just kind of idled a little bit for about a quarter and a half. And there's no idling with Indianapolis.
2 teams in the league right now are 6-2 against the spread. Any guess as to who those 2 teams are?
Well, Indianapolis has to be one of them.
Yes.
Right.
The Patriots.
The Patriots.
Wow.
And the Colts are outscoring the spread by more than 10 points. So I might be the last one to believe in this team, but you looked at the advanced numbers, you want to go by the betting, you want to go by Daniel Jones being second in QBR in the entire league, only taking 9 sacks, which is a big difference between him and Drake May right now, who's taking 28. Not all his fault. But the point is, like, that's not just Jonathan Taylor setting the table and then Daniel Jones sitting down and having plenty of time to eat. He's making plays, and I can't explain it, but that's happening. This is real. This is a good team.
Daniel Jones stating the obvious.
Seems like he makes play after play, long run after long run, explosive. Yeah, just a dynamic football player. Handling the ball, throwing the ball. When the ball's in his hands, he makes something happen.
Yes. So with Jonathan Taylor, who knows? And again, I watch the Colts. I kind of think of them the same way. I believe in them, but I'm not blown away by them. At some point, you got to be blown away by them, or at least blown away by Jonathan Taylor.
But maybe not this year. Sorry, excuse me. I know what you're saying. Like, we all have to admit that they're really good.
Yes.
Yeah, being blown away. And the thing is, too, Reese said it, like, the year's wide open in the AFC. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs, but look, they're good enough to give anybody problems. They're taking care of business. Again, speaking of teams in every game, they're one of them. Their only loss was at the Rams, and that's a game that they look at and go, we should have won.
Let's touch on tuck.
We can tuck.
No.
Sure.
Play Q Lazarus. No. Let's touch on the Baltimore Ravens, and another running back is pretty good.
Derrick Henry alone in the backfield. Give us to Henry. Running left. The King is in. Touchdown Ravens.
To make it 7-6 Baltimore later in the game, Henry again.
Offset eye. Give it to Henry. Right side. Hit at the line. Bounces to the outside. Derrick Henry to the 1. Touchdown Ravens. And with 2:09 left to play, we've waited a month, but the hay's in the barn.
All right. So they win the game. They have 2 wins now, 2-5. However, Lamar Jackson, I don't know if we want to talk about their juggling of the injury report. Lamar Jackson looked like he was going to play and then didn't play, and they won anyway. But they have Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Jets coming up. Are we sold that Baltimore is out of contention at 2-5 or not?
No, and neither are the sports books. They are favored to win the AFC North.
Yeah. I mean, this is a team that's still good. Bad start. MVP hurt. But Lamar is on the verge of coming back.
Well, let's go a step further, because after that Jets game you mentioned, their next 4, it's super easy. Granted, 3 on the road. Bengals at home, Steelers at home, at the Bengals, and then December 21st. This might get flexed. Patriots at home. Oof. The Patriots are the next certified good team. You could argue the Steelers, I wouldn't, but whatever, that they'll face. That team is getting healthy. They can run the ball. The Bears were their slump buster this Sunday. They needed that.
You mentioned the messing around with the injury report, whether or not Tyler Huntley knew he was going to play, whether he was surprised by it.
Probably like Saturday night, like late. Like, I usually just prepare every day like I'm the starter, regardless. So, like, it wasn't too
Do you, though?
much a surprise, I'm like, shoot, let's do it.
Yeah, you prepare, but do you think you're going to start? Come on.
So lame. Lamar Jackson took all the scout team snaps on Friday. So the Ravens were like, yeah, it was full participation. He was out there the whole time, facing our starting defense, which we never do, except when he's not going to play.
Which no one ever does.
Yeah, John Harbaugh was like, oh, honest mistake. Come on, man.
That's not
you needed this one. Every little advantage. Here's what the league does. Patriots will lose, a third-round pick because of this?
Yeah,
maybe worse. Yeah.
But they deserve it.
Stop.
What?
Were your Lions on a bye this week? Must have
Yes.
been.
Yes. Lions are on the bye. All right, let's do this. Since Andrew Callahan is filling in for Fred today, not here as a guest, we don't ask him nor do we expect him to come in armed with 2 stats and a lie. So I have prepared a 2 stats and a lie.
Now, again, I've tried this. Our buddy George has tried this, and I think we had one more person try this but he's 3 for 3. He hasn't been stumped yet. So there's pressure on you to be the first guy to knock off the king here.
I feel no pressure.
Okay.
And I think that is what is going to propel me to victory when we play 2 stats and a lie next.
So I am a champion of the people.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won their 5th in a row yesterday, running by Cleveland 32-13 in Foxborough. Drake made 3 touchdown passes in the third quarter for the win. Patriots 6-2. They play Atlanta next in Foxborough this Sunday. Falcons got run over by Miami 34-10. They are 3-4. Celtics lost to Detroit yesterday 119-113. Green are 0-3 to start a season for the first time in a dozen years. They're in New Orleans tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 on 105.7 WROR. When the Bruins play in Ottawa tonight, Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Yesterday, the team officially placed Hampus Lindholm on injured reserve. He had already missed the last 4 games with a sore hamstring. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Shaw's at Star Market Foundation. This time, they've teamed with Andrew Peak for Feeding the Puck for Families. They'll donate $100 for each assist this season to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more at 98.5 The Sports Hub / Feed the Puck. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and
Hall of Fame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider.
Andrew's got 2 stats, but he only has one no good stinking lie. Andrew's got 2 stats, but has only one lie. Who will guess correctly?
So bad, so good.
2 stats and a lie with Andrew Callahan normally happens on Tuesday when Andrew is a guest, but he is filling in for Fred Toucher today. So, as a thank you to Andrew for providing us with this wonderful content, I have prepared 2 stats and a lie for today, which John and Andrew both participate in. I got 12 if you want to. I guess you could participate
Thanks.
also.
Yeah, perhaps I will.
That way we can keep track of
Wait, quiz time. 12. What time is it?
8:48. Thanks
Time
for
for
reminding
updates,
me.
I think.
What's that?
Is it time for an update?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Essential
Whoa.
Sports Hub headlines.
Hold on.
Sorry, my bad.
Do that. Let's get into this because there's going to be a lot of conversation, I'm sure.
All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. It takes 2 stats from the other night. And one might see if you can get it right.
All right, hang on. I got to prepare. I got to move everything so I don't get accused of
You got
cheating.
your oven mitts?
The mitts.
And
Mitts.
since 12 is competing against you this week, 12, you're looking right over his shoulder. Just make sure that browser window is closed.
Hang on, we're closing
it's
it now.
fine. He's got,
We're closing it now.
Yeah.
Close it. I had everything together, and now I'm closing it.
We're
12,
good.
is it closed?
It's a beautiful screensaver.
There
have
you go.
there, John.
All right, here we go.
Andrew also just got the screensaver on. Here we go. 2 stats and a lie. And I don't do this 3-lie nonsense. Okay? That's off the table.
That nonsense might get you back in the game.
Well, you only have one more chance at it. That's the other thing.
He's not wrong, though. It could, because I'm suckling hind teat in 2 stats and a lie in the big stats. Here we go. Number 1. Drake May had more rushing yards yesterday than Celtics' second half points. So, number 1. Drake May had more rushing yards yesterday than Celtics' second half points in their game against the Pistons. That is number 1. Number 2. Harold Fannin Jr.'s receiving yards yesterday equals Jesper Svensson's final round score at the Bank of Utah Championship.
Boo. Come on. What's the
Once
name of the
again,
golfer again? This matters to me, too.
Harold Fannin Jr.'s receiving yards yesterday equals Jesper Svensson's final round score at the Bank of Utah Championship. Number 3. The number of Myles Garrett sacks yesterday is the same number of bunker shots required by Ryan Beaton to get out of the sand and onto the green on one hole Saturday at Souther's Marsh. Played golf with Ryan Beaton, Alex Barth, Matt McCarthy, Kevin Collins. There were 6 of us. Anyway, the number of Myles Garrett sacks yesterday is the same number of bunker shots required by Ryan Beaton to get on the green on one hole Saturday at Souther's Marsh.
I got this.
I got this.
All right. So we'll begin with well, Andrew doesn't have it yet, so we'll give him a moment. John, you go first.
All right. The Fannin receiving yards equal to Jesper Svensson's final round at the score Bank of Utah. That would really be a dick move if that was the lie, because there's no way any of us could possibly know that. So that's true. That's true.
Well, do you have any idea what Harold Fannin's receiving yards yesterday were, or
doesn't matter
what Jesper shot in the Bank of Utah Championship in the final round?
None of us could possibly know what Svensson's final round was.
That person, that event, that score could all be fictional, and I wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So I can't even know if that event is real.
Dick move to do that. The third one is number of sacks Myles Garrett had, which is 5. So number of bunker shots required on one hole for Ryan Beaton. That would be another dick move because none of us were there. None of us have talked to Ryan about his round on Saturday. So I'm going
Intimate knowledge of the stat is not a requirement.
But
Callahan,
the point is,
Callahan used his pregnant wife a couple of weeks ago. We did, and like the impending birth of their child, we didn't even know he was married, much less his wife was
pregnant. You
pregnant.
knew I was married, but you both also knew it right away because I said baby boy, which was a superfluous detail, which is a tell. That was also an all Callahan edition.
The point being, and I commend you for that, the point I'm trying to make is if 2 or 3 are the lie, Andrew and I would have no way of being able to tell one way or another. So number 1 is the lie.
All right.
Read number 3 again.
The number of Myles Garrett sacks yesterday is the same number of bunker shots required by Ryan Beaton to get on the green on one hole Saturday at Southers Marsh.
So unknowable, but funny. And the same number obviously leaves you no margin for error. By the way, that would also suck if so. I'm sorry, Ryan. Mine would be more bunker shots, personally. I agree with Wallach at number 2. If I get this wrong, I'm going to sleep even better tonight. Because I don't know anything about what happened there in Utah, supposedly. The Celtics lost 119 to 113. Drake May had 50 rushing yards. So that says that the Celtics only scored 49 points in a game where they scored 113. And even though they lost and fell apart down the stretch, I mean, that would have to be, 63 in the first half?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1 is the lie as well.
12?
Adam, 12.
So
where's the music, by the way?
Similar to we could hit another one if you want to, Hardy. It's
Yeah.
fine, you know. You go ahead and hit one of those. Dealer's choice.
Okay, here we go.
2, 2, 2,
Yeah.
2 steps, 1, 1, 1, the 1, 1, the 1 line. 2, 2, 2, the 2, 2, the 2 steps. 1 line, 2 steps, 1 line.
Okay.
Andrew always gets so happy when we play this one.
Just the ones I forget because there's so many because Nick is a machine.
Go ahead, 12. What do you got?
Now. Well, so my thinking was at first that Hardy takes the game, the sport of golf so seriously that he would never endeavor to use golf statistics in an untrue way, which would, by that thinking, make number 1 the lie. But the other thing I know about Hardy is, boy, does he love to get one over on Ryan Beaton.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that somehow Ryan Beaton had more bunker shots than Myles Garrett had sacks yesterday, 5. So I'm going to say that number 3 is the lie.
Oh, all right. So we have Andrew and I say 1 is the lie. 12 says 3 is the lie.
Man,
what is
that's
the
a compelling
answer?
case.
What is the answer?
I'm not going to flip, but
No, that is compelling. He's got a good point there. What is the answer?
Well, Adam, 12.
Yes.
Does not play this game every week.
No.
but
So it could be argued that he is at an unfair advantage and shouldn't be expected to win. Adam 12 did not win. Both John and Andrew are correct.
Woo! Well done, gentlemen.
Drake May had 50 rushing yards, as Andrew said. Celtics, 55 first half points.
There you
so
go.
that is the lie. Harold Fannin Jr.'s receiving yards yesterday, 62. Same score of the blistering 62 that Jesper Svensson put up in the final round of the Bank of Utah Championship. The real story here, though, is Ryan Beaton on one hole on Saturday at Southers Marsh found himself in a greenside bunker. Shot number 1, right into the lip of the bunker, back at his feet. Shot number 2, ditto. Shot number 3, I don't think he even hit sand.
He whiffed entirely?
Shot 4, the ball got out of the bunker, but into another bunker on the other side of the green.
Oh, boy.
So
Just
that
pick
was
it up and throw it on the green. after
5
that.
bunker shots required by Ryan Beaton in 2 separate bunkers. I didn't say the same bunker.
Oh, that would have thrown us off.
To get onto the green on that one hole Saturday at Southers Marsh.
So it was you, Beaton, Barth, McCarthy, and there are 2 more?
Yes.
Collins.
So who's giving Ryan a hard time, and who? Like I imagine Barth is like really trying to will him do the nice thing, give him the tips.
Nobody gave anybody. I yelled at Ryan Beaton one time.
Yep.
I yelled at him one time when he was standing like a few feet away from the cart. Ryan and I rode in a cart together. Barth was with us, so that we had 2 threesomes out there on the course. And he was standing kind of a few feet away from the cart after we had finished the hole. And it was a beautiful day, really fun golf course. Everything's great. There was nobody behind us, but I could tell somebody had teed off, and they were getting closer to our group, so I wanted to keep moving. And I kind of laid down, my thoughts on the day ahead of time. I'm like, guys, no looking for lost balls, leaf rule. Let's keep things moving out here today. This is the same place where someone got their finger bit off for slow play a few years ago in an incident there at Southers Marsh that they'd probably wish I didn't talk about.
A person bit another person's finger?
In a fight, a golf course fight. It happens. But it was over slow play. I'm like, let's not find ourselves in that position. Beaton is standing a few feet away from the car, just kind of looking up into the sky. And I'm like, I gave him a second, and he's just kind of standing there. I said, Beaton, let's go. Get your ass in the car. Let's go. And he kind of sheepishly turned around and walked me and goes, sorry, I was counting my strokes. I'm like, I thought you were having a stroke. Jesus, kid. Count while you're riding shotgun. Let's go.
It's this.
I felt
a certain. I played with Hardy a few weeks ago. I felt a certain amount of pressure to get going.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Let's play.
In Beaton's defense, looking at the sky, underrated. Take a peek every once in a while. Just enjoy yourself.
All right. Hey, Bob Sosi's going to join us next here on Toucher and Hardy.
Speaking of underrated.
Yes, hold on.
Toucher and Hardy. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won their 5th straight game yesterday, and the big difference in this one was the third quarter.
The Pats have a 3rd and goal to go on the 1-yard line of Cleveland.
Got to get in.
Left hash mark. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. In motion to the right is Hunter Henry. Drake May drops back, throws it quick to Diggs. He's in for a touchdown. Patriots.
That is Bob Sosi and Scott Zolak here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, and it was also one of 3 Drake May touchdown passes in the third quarter during a 32-13 win over Cleveland. May 18 of 24 in all for 282 yards. Patriots ran off 27 straight points in this one. They're 6-2 now. They still have sole possession of first place in the AFC East. Atlanta will be at Gillette Stadium on Sunday. The wildly up and down Falcons are 3-4 after getting blown out at home by Miami yesterday, 34-10. Celtics are 0-3 for the first time in a dozen years. They came up short in Detroit yesterday, 119-113. Green led by 17 in the first quarter and got 41 points from Jaylen Brown. It was not enough, and they're right back at it tonight as they visit New Orleans. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7:30 and the tip-off at 8 on 105.7 WROR. The reason that game is there is because the Bruins will be here tonight on 98.5 The Sports Hub. They visit Ottawa. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30. The Bruins yesterday placed Hampus Lindholm on injured reserve and called up defenseman Jonathan Aspero from Providence. Toronto visits the Dodgers tonight in Game 3 of the World Series, even at a game apiece. And in college football news, LSU has reportedly fired head coach Brian Kelly with 6 years and $53 million left on his contract. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Blue Sky Restoration Contractors. It's Halloween season, but nothing is scarier than a property disaster. Don't panic. Just call Blue Sky, and they'll take care of everything from beginning to end. Visit goblusky.com. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps or at 985sportshub.com.
When it comes to the show, Hardy thinks the same way you do.
Nothing happened.
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
And hello again, everyone. A very pleasant good afternoon, and welcome to Foxborough's Gillette Stadium. New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. Play fake by May, rolling right, throws it to the 5. Touchdown, Hunter Henry. Patriots expand the lead. Waist high snap. Blitzer coming. Throw across the field. Intercepted. Here comes Spillane to the 30. 25-20. Hurdles the man. Lands at the 5.
There you go. Fans are up now. Now you start believing in the football team.
Breaks from the left hash of the 39. He takes the shotgun snap. He's back to throw. He loads up a long ball off the downfield. Okay. Touchdown. Keyshawn Boutte.
What a weapon.
Patriots and the Browns.
These type of games you get away from. This team's different. They're building something. They believe in something. They're getting better right in front of us every week.
No matter how hectic your day gets, be sure to grab a mug of Bigelow tea and tea proudly. Bob, thanks for joining us. How are you this morning?
Hardy, thanks for having me. I'm good. Nice to be with you, John and Andrew. I see that Fred and Milo found their fields of dreams yesterday in Cincinnati. So congratulations to Fred, and hopefully has a safe trip back.
Bob, what would your call have been had you not been Bob Sosi, but Bob Wischusen, the Jets radio guy? First win of the season, just impossible. You are just like, pants off. Oh my God, I can't believe this happens. Like, what do you say? First win of the season, the most depressing time. I mean, I guess it's always a depressing time to be a Jets fan. What would you have said?
Well, first of all, I wish I could call a game like Bob Wischusen, one of the best. And second of all, would I be working with Zoe? Because if I was working with Zoe, I probably wouldn't have to have that pants-off moment for me. I'd just let him take over in that regard. Unicorn show ponies, where's the beef? But, hey, thrilling comeback for a team that hasn't had much to cheer about or to get excited about on the air for sure. But we've had some games like that, and I alluded to the Kenbrell Tompkins game for Brady. Obviously, different circumstances because the Pats were unbeaten in the midst of their 2-decade-long reign atop the AFC East. But there have been other times over the course, maybe more recent years, let's say the win in Denver a couple of years ago on Christmas Eve when Chad Weiland hit that kick. I got pretty excited about that one. And then in retrospect, a lot of people told me I shouldn't have been. But hey, it landed them Drake May eventually in the next draft. So it turned out to be a very exciting, worthy kick.
Just for the record, though, Bob, you're against like trying to script any call, even if it's a Super Bowl or something. It's like you may have an idea of what the overall story of the game is going to be, but you wait until the game is actually happening before you start thinking about a big final call at the end of even a big game like a Super Bowl.
I think you try to, in my opinion, anyway. That's the best way to do it. I think what's born organically from the emotion of the moment is best. There are ideas that percolate in your mind going into a game. Let's say I think about the last Super Bowl that I called in 2019 on the way to the stadium in Atlanta. They had the Super Bowl rings pictured on the fence. They had this tarpaulin on the fence with pictures of every Super Bowl championship ring. And that kind of entered a thought in my mind. And I started thinking back to a lot of the NFL Films productions that I'd seen during the week and Gill's call of the third championship during his time in the broadcast booth. And so that's in the back of my mind. But I think, when a play happens, particularly when it's a play on the last snap or near last snap, it's Malcolm Butler intercepting that pass. Although I still cringe when I hear that often. I don't think the scripted call fits there. You could launch into your signature home run call. But to me, it's the excitement in your voice, the emotion almost of disbelief. Like even the great Vin Scully, when he calls the Kirk Gibson home run in 1988 and he says, "She is gone," there's a little bit of an incredulous sound of that voice from him, always so smooth and so good. The ground ball between Buckner's legs, dare I say. And here comes Mookie Wilson, here comes Knight, and the Mets win it. Those are the kind of calls that to me resonate the most. And there's so many others, but I think when you try to jam in, and I've learned this the hard way, going back to my college years, and certainly there have been many times on the Patriots broadcast too, that you want it to be organic. And if you do otherwise, it can sound contrived, in my opinion.
All right, so let's talk about the game itself. Once again, Patriots allowing that early score. We were talking about it earlier, how it's got to drive Mike Vrabel crazy, but also knowing that if a team, especially like the Browns, is going to look good, I've kind of decided they're going to look good on that opening scripted opening drive, and after that, who knows? We found out yesterday they didn't have much beyond that. What did you think as the Patriots allowed that early touchdown again yesterday, Bob?
Well, I think it was disconcerting at the time, and even today, when you look back on it, because of the effort that was invested to try to overcome that kind of start. As Andrew knows, being in the locker room and talking to more players than I, it was very much on the minds of the players and very much a point of emphasis. And I heard a bit of the segment earlier with Mike Reese talking about the use of Ben McAdoo to try to prepare the defense. And the thing for me is that just about every game, and I've talked about this with Zoe and Brian Hoyer on the TV show that we do, just about every game that you play at the NFL level, certainly, and probably with most college programs, at least in the major conferences, the first drive is going to be a scripted drive. And the big thing to do, if you want to get a team off script, is to make a negative play for the offense, and suddenly force the offensive coordinator maybe to abandon that script for the moment, if not permanently on that series, because, the play that I've got dialed up here for 2nd down and 6, 2nd and 3, well, now we're in 2nd and 13. So I can't go to that play. And they haven't been able to come up with, enough of those plays in the early going. But to their credit, it's kind of like their MO. They, get off to that slow start. And then maybe if there is a sudden change, I think back to, a couple of games ago when, they were put in a tough spot with a turnover, actually more than a couple and they rebound and they hold the opposing offense and get the ball right back. Yesterday, I thought that they did a very good job, even when the offense was not scoring touchdowns and was having its own negative plays and settling for field goals. I mean, the defense, kept the Browns' offense under wraps throughout the rest of the day.
The thing I worry about, Bob, and we have to look at this team differently now. We have to look at this team as a playoff team and how far they can go in the playoffs. I mean, their record kind of dictates that at the midway point of the season. What happens if they continue to do this and they continue to get off to a slow start? And in the playoffs, they're in Kansas City, or, in a couple of weeks, they visit Tampa. I mean, can they get away with this against a team that's much better than the teams they're playing now?
Yeah, John, certainly if you're an underdog and you're on the road, you want to play from out front. I think the one thing about this team, though, they do have the offensive firepower they've lacked for quite a long time. I think even going back to 2018, that team became a run-dominant team by the end of the season. They really did a December personality switch from being, a pass-first team to being a team that, lined up and played smash-mouth football. And I think with this team, the offense does give them a little more of a margin for error defensively. Also, I'm not sure, and we've talked about this, that some of those teams at the top of the conference are as strong as they've been in the recent past, traditionally over many years. But I do think you're right. The premise that if you go on the road and you play a team that is supposed to beat you and you fall behind early, then it's very difficult to overcome that, generally speaking. But this team has shown, at least in this winning streak, that they can go on the road and they can win games. Against a good opponent in Buffalo and a couple of inferior opponents in New Orleans and Tennessee, and, right their way with in-game adjustments, not just halftime adjustments, which often I think can be rated, but it's the in-game adjustments from series to series. They've been able to find that way.
Bob, two quick ones. First one, correct me if I'm wrong, but you get to sit in on production meetings before games with Vrabel, May, and a couple other guys. Is that the case?
No, only preseason games, Andrew, because the preseason games are produced by Kraft Sports. And in fact, this year we only got to sit in on 2 of the games because Amazon Prime did the third. So the only time that I'm ever in a production meeting is during the preseason. And I'm lucky that now back on the radio side, they allow me to continue to do that.
Plus, Bob is also part owner of the Dallas Cowboys now. He's got a 5% stake. So he's not allowed in production meetings for a lot of different reasons, among them the fact that he's
we'll get that fixed for you.
Significant ownership.
I got it.
stake.
All right. If that's the case, why am I not allowed on Jerry Jones' party bus? Not that I want to be.
By choice. By choice.
Yeah,
that's right. You have standards.
The last place you want to take a black light is that bus. The second question, which is not necessarily tied to the first, but just Zoe in the clip we played coming into the segment said this team is different. And we talk all the time about Drake May, and we talked about the defense. I wrote about it getting better. The running game is coming around. What can't we kind of capture, quantify about this team that makes you feel that way? Things that you see or feel or hear? Because I do think there's something here that goes deeper and beyond the numbers.
Yeah, Andrew, I think you go back to what we started to see develop during camp, and I think the messaging from day one of Mike Vrabel to his players, effort and finish, showing them that he believes in them. And I think what we've seen over the course of the season is the players really taking ownership. Like in Mike Vrabel's day, when he was one of those guys like Willie McGinnis and Teddy Bruschi in that locker room who kept everybody in line. I think we're starting to see that with this Patriots team. And so when things start, to go askew in game, you have players that are asserting themselves as leaders, going out there and making plays, but also I think with kind of the messaging that's consistent and carried over from Vrabel and his coaches. And I think that's also it's the competence and the confidence. He talked about consistency to build confidence. I think it's the confidence that we saw during the preparation for the season, the way the coaches were on the same page, the vision they had, Mike Vrabel had, that I think the players could see and understand, and now they've adopted. And so I think when you get into situations, and Vrabel, he might have said this in his introductory press conference, you're going to face adversity. Things are going to go wrong in a game. And you have to be a team that is able to handle that well. And I think it just goes back to kind of the process and the habits you build, the mentality you develop as early as the spring or even the offseason conditioning program. And I do think that there is a difference. You go back to the first half, the way it played out against a bad team. The Patriots in recent years, when they've been in games like that, they couldn't overcome some of those mistakes and the missed opportunities. And they would be the team that in the second half would, commit the crucial turnovers the way Dylan Gabriel did for Cleveland. And they did that a bit going back to week 1 against Las Vegas and certainly in the Pittsburgh game. But I do think that we've seen a difference in this team as the season's gone along.
Bob, we had Mike Reese on earlier. We were asking him about his snack setup before the game.
Yeah.
We know about you and your Bigelow tea before the game. In addition to your snack selection during the game, during one of the calls yesterday, it may have been on the Stephon Diggs touchdown. I was listening to the call again last night. It sounded like Zoe maybe had a mouthful of food. Does it happen,
what are the odds?
Does it happen?
Give him up, Bob.
Does it happen more often than not? And do you even hear it anymore when Zoe is talking with his mouth full?
Artie, is that a rhetorical question?
Okay, well,
there we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right.
No, I tell you, there
What was the
time-
food, though? What was it this time?
Well, I can't remember that particular stage of the game, which tells you, which kind of answers.
All right, third quarter.
Because it's, I remember one time when I was calling minor league baseball in Peoria, Illinois, I got a chance to stand in the back of the booth with Lane Larrabee, great guy, great broadcaster, then the voice of the Bears.
Lane.
And they allowed me to put a headset on, and I'm listening to the game, and I hear this munching in my headset over and over as he's calling the game, and those moments where the game breathes and you hear the crowd noise and you hear crunch, 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 crunch. And I realized it was Dick Butkus, one of the color commentators, eating peanuts during the game. So when I call a game with Zoe, only occasionally can I hear the crunch, 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 munch, munch, munch. And I think at one point yesterday, it might have been during a commercial break, I did turn and ask, what are you chewing on? And he, to his credit, Awaken 180, he was eating healthy. He was eating carrots and celery. From the back of the press box.
Famously quiet
So
foods. Wait, Bob, going back for a second, though. You were at a minor league baseball game coming up, as a lot of broadcasters do, and there's some guy chewing, and his name was Dick Butkus.
Yeah, it was actually, I should have let me backtrack. I was calling minor league baseball, and I got a chance to go to the Bears-Lions game.
That makes sense. All right. Now it makes sense.
There could not be a second
doing in Peoria.
human being.
That's why I thought, what was Butkus doing at an Albuquerque Isotopes game?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I will tell you that I did call a number of Peoria Chiefs games with Jimmy Pearsall, who, of course, played for the Red Sox, subject of the movie Fear Strikes Out, and Jimmy had the tendency to say some things that weren't suitable, and we're talking back like a long time ago, mid-90s. So you think about today, what is and isn't allowed. Working with him back then. The FCC, the broadcasting standards, especially when you're working for a mom and pop station in Peoria, Illinois, a little bit stricter than they might be today. A few less things back then that you could get away with, but Jimmy somehow was able to do that, and that was quite an experience.
All right. Bob, we appreciate the time as always. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate yours.
All right.
Thanks, Bob.
See you, Bob.
There he goes. The great Bob Socci joining us here as he does every Monday morning on Toucher and Hardy. Tons of emails today. So much has been covered. So we got a lot of them to get to. We will do that next on Toucher and Hardy.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
At the 99 restaurant, $14.99 big deal meals start the week off right.
Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
John has already one thing prepared for the stack for today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave it up to both John and Andrew to come up with stack items for today.
Okay.
How's that? Things that, Andrew, appreciate you coming in. Late notice yesterday, as Fred informed us he would not be here for the show today, so you agreed to come in. So you should be rewarded and also tasked with coming up with something for the stack. Anything you want to talk about. Anything we didn't get a chance to talk about today, you can talk about.
I got it.
John has one thing, you have another thing. We'll come up with another.
There you go.
That's in a few minutes, though. And for that matter, speaking of task, we could talk about the TV show Task, if you wanted to, which Andrew and I are both watching. And I'm stressing out over every episode.
So good. I'm only 3 episodes in, and it's hard. The first one, I just said, we'll just do one. 2 later.
Where can we find it? What is it on?
Is it on Max?
HBO Max.
Yeah.
HBO Max, yeah.
So.
Very good.
Recently rebranded. Rebranded?
Rebranded.
Who even knows anymore?
No. All right, so John was in Philadelphia over the weekend attending a wedding. Mm-hmm. He had a 6-hour and 15-minute drive home, which was brutal, which got us into the whole, why didn't you just fly, John? Why didn't you just fly? And Sam emailed in earlier. He's not moving off of this. And then here's John Marks, who says, you're so wrong about driving or flying. Because I told John, I'm like, why don't you just fly to Philadelphia? What are you doing? I'm not going to drive to Florida, but I've chosen to drive to Detroit rather than putting my family on a plane and flying everybody there. It takes me an hour to drive to the airport. You have to park, and then you have to take a shuttle to get to the terminal. You have to wait 2 hours after having to check your luggage and get through security, and then you're on doing the same thing. John, I reject pretty much everything you just said, okay? If you're having to wait for 2 hours once you get to the airport, you're doing the airport wrong, number one. Number two, what's this with the checking of the bags, okay? That's on you. Don't check a bag.
Yeah, for a weekend trip?
If you can at all help it.
I agree with that part of it. For a weekend trip, you're not checking a bag.
Study the Waze or whatever app was. See how long it's going to take you to get to the airport. Get the TSA pre-check, you child. So you fly through security. My goal is to be walking up to the gate as they're making the first boarding announcement and they're getting the first class people on board. This whole 2 hours before the airport thing is ridiculous nonsense. Yeah, you're going to add time to your journey if you insist on doing that. Don't do it. Show up. Don't check a bag. Get your TSA pre-check. Walk to the gate. Get on the plane. It doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours before the flight takes off. So you can stop it with that. I'm not listening to it.
That's anxiety. That's what that is. I missed a flight before, so I don't get there 2 hours early, and I've got pre-check, which is a lifesaver. Like I want to kiss the TSA agents as I'm going through faster than I even expect when I get there. That's I don't know though. That's a lot. An hour away from the airport. It's been a long time since I was that far from an airport. It's a little different because you hit traffic on the way in. You need that buffer, the extra time, in case you get hit.
You check the traffic before you leave. You get an idea. You get a sense of what's going on. I mean, it's just whatever. All right. The whole notion of also like herding a family through the airport. John's kids are 15 years old. Okay? It's not that big of a deal.
My problem was the cost. The cost of flying 4 people to Philadelphia. I would rather drive and save the money. That was the whole reasoning behind that.
All right, John.
Upside
would you do it again?
No.
Or would you pay it?
I would pay anything.
That's my
I would pay anything, not to sick. I had a very good view of your home state, Andrew, on the way home. Spent more than my fair share of time sitting on 84 in Connecticut.
We got insurance. We got left side exits and some pizza and
a lot of left side exits, man.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's the best college basketball. One pro tip though, because I almost shared this on the show when I was going through, like going through the line to get on the airplane. I scanned my ticket as I was doing a phoner with the show, and I was standing in line. If you and or your kids are not, you don't even have anything beyond a carry-on. You have one personal item, right? Just wait till the last seats. Wait till they're about to close the door.
Oh,
because that way, if you get on, whatever seat is in front of you, if you're the last people or person on the plane, just take whatever open seat you want. That's yours. There's no one behind you who's going to be like, oh, that's actually my seat. If you're the last person on and you don't need to worry about overhead space, just wait. Wait till the last second and go. You could sit 4th row, you could 6th row, 7th row. They're not going to care. They're ready to go.
I'll take your advice on that because you fly a lot more than I do. All right, we talked with Mike Reese earlier, who went to the Bryan Adams show at Mohegan Sun on Saturday night. He was at Gillette Stadium at 8:30 on Sunday morning, worked the whole day, and then went to Bryan Adams again at the Garden last night. Chris in Portland said, Hardy, I was at the Bryan Adams show at Mohegan on Saturday. He played a set list of 28 songs, lasted over 2 hours, took the stage a little before 9 p.m. and played until 11:06 p.m. No one leaves Mohegan right away, although Mike Reese might. So it was midnight before Reese hit the road. If we give Reese the benefit of the doubt and say he was driving at 11:30, he still wasn't home before 1 a.m.
No chance.
No.
And again, I pushed back on an hour and a half from Mohegan to where he lives. It's easy 145. Easy,
I
if
don't
not
know.
longer.
I'm going to look this up because I've disagreed,
Go.
but it's been so small. You just keep saying it, and I especially at 1 a.m.
Now you've backed him into a corner. I was, you know what?
This has to
This
do
is
with
not even
Connecticut
Connecticut
travel.
slander. It's
He
just
said,
like I know the
but he
area.
said it was less than an hour and a half, didn't he?
Yes.
He said it was like
Reese
an hour
said
and
it was-
Yeah, he
I
said an
forget-
hour and a half most.
Yeah, it was.
No, not a chance.
It was an unreasonable amount of time he said.
Because he
made it
lives
home.
further east towards Boston than I do, and it took me an hour 40, hour 45 the last time I did Mohegan.
Yeah, but depending on which way you come back, then it might actually be closer for him. If
I
he
don't
can-
know.
if he
I
can
did all
shoot
highway.
shoot straight up 95 there. It might be closer. For
See,
him.
so he left when? 11.
30, 11:45, whatever it is.
Okay, 11:40 p.m.
Are you feeling the need to defend your home state here? Is that what this is?
No. I just think it's shorter than you're giving it credit for. All right, if you leave at 11:40 tonight, so roads are pretty empty, to the town that I believe Mike Reese lives in.
Yes.
Hour 33.
You got to be.
So
flying.
this was not worth looking it up.
You got to
We're
be
talking about a matter of
Got
7
to be
minutes.
flying to do that.
One thing you do have to look up are the stats when you're doing two stats in a lie.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Oh.
I looked mine up earlier, and so far no one has called me out on being statistically wrong on
How
anything.
about that,
It's a
Andrew? He
horrible
did
feeling.
it once, not one email.
Yeah, not one mistake.
Not one mistake.
It's actually really easy.
You know what's weird? I've also not made one mistake when I'm in this spot. 4-0? Are we unbeaten? Unbeaten?
3-0.
Unbeaten?
Down. You're very good.
Just wanted to check.
Look at that.
So here is two stats and a lie, Freddie T edition. This comes from
this is
Thomas
gonna be
O'Malley. He said, all right, number one, the flight left in due time to get here for 6 a.m. today. That is stat or lie number one for Fred's flight back from Cincinnati. Number two, it was a 1 o'clock game, and John doesn't use the letter H to spell John. And number three, Fred was telling the truth. So which two of those are stats, and which one is a lie?
Oh, I cannot wait to hear what he has to say tomorrow about this.
That's going to be interesting.
You got to hold his feet to the fire here.
Dave emails in. Hardy and Zolak were kind enough to name my baby during COVID. Although we didn't use the name because it was thoughtless and terrible, it made for a fun segment.
Show ponies.
Will Andrew Callahan allow you guys to name his baby today live on the air? Seems reasonable considering all that you've done for his ascending career. P.S. Again, Wallach made a pithy comment about people accusing him of cheating when, in fact, he was actually caught cheating during two stats and a lie. So, Andrew, will you allow us to name your baby this morning on the air?
I'll hear you out.
Okay. It's baby girl.
Baby girl.
Okay.
I like Ruby. Ruby Callahan.
All right.
Samantha Callahan.
12?
Callie Callahan.
Ooh.
Oh.
Callie Cal.
That's pretty good.
It's leader in the clubhouse right now.
Look at that. 12.
How
Very
about
good.
Gwen.
Oh, come on.
Bertha.
She's going to be like female Benjamin Button coming out. Are we even making Gwens anymore?
Real talk though, Andrew, have you guys had that conversation and like what are everyone who has a kid, you guys probably did this too, like you look at the trending baby names, right, Hardy?
Let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because I've spoken with Andrew about this off the air. They have their short list. They may even have a name, but they're not telling anybody.
Oh, good.
We do have a name, and you know what's funny? We spent a great day Saturday with my folks. It was like a last day before we're family of 3 visit, and we shared the runner-up. And my parents are nice people because they withheld their, okay. Like, so when you don't like your, sibling or cousin's new significant other, and you go, oh, they're nice. I got nothing else to say.
They wore a nice shirt.
Oh, okay.
What, are you going to tell
they
us?
probably brush their teeth, pay the bill.
You going to tell us?
I'll tell you off air.
What the hell?
That's fair.
Callahan now is the runner-up.
I like it.
We never considered that, I don't think.
Oh, you don't like
It didn't come to mind. And we did a lot of research.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I feel cheated in some way for the audience for not knowing what the runner-up name is.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe you can get it out of me then.
Okay. Can't get rid of him.
Andrew, have any idea why Josh stopped running right? They were having their way with defense, Tim and Nashua.
So, Tim, I have not rewatched the game. That is normally what I do all on Monday, so I'm about to go do that.
Didn't
But
they flip
I'll
Myles Garrett
tell you right now, Myles Garrett started playing over
on the right-hand
left
side.
on the left side of the nose tackle a little bit, and then he got over there like more to the left as the game went on. I saw him over there.
Started over Campbell, and then after beating him twice, got bored and started
beating him. He was double teamed on every one of his first 3 sacks.
Well, it's interesting because you had the tight end, and then he like shucked him aside, and then blew by Will Campbell a couple of times.
So I have my notes here. This is all the charting I do during the game, and I'm going to refute without looking at the tape now. Tim from Nashua, I appreciate the question. They had their first run in the second half was a run to the right. They had a speed option to the right in that same drive. You go further down, 2 drives later, they start with a flip to the right, one of those misdirection plays, jet sweep in that direction, and then they end the game with 2 tosses to the right, which, to his point, because Trayvon Henderson hit the edge and he had some space, got 27 yards on his longest run. They did spam that type of toss or outside run a couple of times to the right. But also there's a dynamic where like you can just run the same play over and over again, but the other team has the ability to think and adjust. So you got to keep them, honest.
Okay, that's fair. What do we have here? Updated record on the Tar Heel football watch. This is from Patrick. Updated record, 86-108. Takeaway post Brady Jets wins University of Richmond and University of Charlotte. He's a clean 30 under at 77-107.
Now, to give Belichick credit, to give North Carolina credit, Virginia is a good team this year, and they lost by 1 in overtime because inexplicably he decided to go for 2 in overtime and didn't get it. The first overtime period he went for 2 and he didn't have to, and they lost by 1.
Well, if you're defending Belichick, I'll do it again too. We talked about the Jets not wanting to play for overtime. When you know you're the worst team, I don't want to play more football so you can prove that you're the better team. I want to have this come down to 1 play, 2-point conversion, whatever it might be. So in that instance, I get it. Not to mention, like you said, you go to 2 overtimes now in college. You have to go for 2. So you're going to run that play soon anyway. I don't mind that decision. But can we just sink into what we're talking about now? Good for Bill for coming close against the University of Virginia.
That's
the
true.
greatest football coach of all time raised the banner because you lost by 1 to UVA.
At home.
Holy.
Mother
Fill in the
of
blank.
God.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Something tells me more on this tomorrow when Fred is back.
Yeah.
But for now, we're going to get to the stack and wrap up the show here today with Andrew Callahan and me and Wallach here on the Sports Hub. Hold on.
Sports Hub headlines presented by
list from the show.
6-2 stack month. 6-2 stack month. Ready.
It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, it's time for the stack with Andrew Callahan in today, filling in for Fred, and Wallach is here. Wallach already had one juicy bit of something statistically for betting odds on what is it, Wallach?
Betting odds on NFL MVP as of this morning.
Okay. All right. I will say that Drake May was 5th the last time we did this. I'm going to say he's up to 4th now.
Andrew, you got a guess?
3rd.
He is 3rd.
Wow.
At plus 450.
Did you already know, Andrew? See,
all right.
You got to come with that.
All right.
You got to come with it. You got to admit it. All
Bad
right.
form. I looked this up last night for it's the lead to our notebook in the Herald today because I'll say this: the game yesterday, the best defense he's seen ever, the second good defense he's seen all year. That now the MVP campaign is real. It's cool talk.
Yeah.
First half of the season. We're in late October. You know who's good. You know who's not. You know who's great and might be the MVP. This is legit now.
And also Atlanta, a top 5 defense as well. Regardless of how up and down they are, defense has always been good. Again, he does it in back-to-back weeks, and then you have Tampa Bay.
It's hard to say that when they give up a 30 burger to the Dolphins. But I just
that was good.
It
was really good. You saw Hardy wince. That was great.
It's all about
we had an email from Joe that said, Hardy, I heard you giving Andrew grief for saying 40 burger, but I think that's far less douchey than calling a golf course a track, which I don't do.
No.
I've never even heard that.
Love the show. Anytime you want, come check out some machines, move some dirt. You can come down the quarry. Thanks, Joe and the Loader. Hell yeah.
All right, top 2, Patrick Mahomes, plus 150. Josh Allen, plus 350. Drake May is 3rd. And then there's...
And what is it? What is he at again?
Plus 450.
Okay.
There's a significant drop-off after that. There are those 3 guys, and then the rest of the field. 4th, Matthew Stafford, plus 1,400.
Wow.
Daniel Jones, plus 1,400.
I can't.
Jordan Love, after last night, plus 1,600.
Okay.
Jordan Love, probably the best value right there. As amazing as May has been, and they're going to win a lot of games, and you have to be like a 1 or 2 seed to win MVP based on the voting historically.
Fair or unfair, is anyone thinking about Daniel Jones, though, when you're thinking about the Colts, or are you thinking about Jonathan Taylor?
Thinking about Jonathan Taylor, who is also on the list, but
good.
much further down. He's, 9th or 10th at plus 2,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for anyone other than a quarterback to win.
Yeah, everybody on this list except for Taylor is a quarterback.
All right.
So
okay. Andrew.
So I was sharing with you before the show this thread that has gone absolutely viral. 38 million views on Twitter. This guy claims he was at a wedding where someone actually objected, which I don't think happens anymore. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Someone objected. Then he goes on, and this wasn't the worst thing that happened at the wedding. And he lists like 4 different things, and someone's uncle doing lines in the bathroom and this and that. First of all, the thread has now been deleted. So I don't know if this guy's family got a load of this and everyone know who's who, or it was all fake or whatever. But it got me thinking. The only other thing that comes close and is in kind of the same realm of an objection at a wedding, just immense awkwardness, is a proposal at a ballpark or at a game where she says no. So I pose you this question.
Okay.
Would you rather be sitting back row at a wedding where you don't really know the bride and groom or the partners or whatever that well and hear an objection and have to sit with that? Or would you rather be next to the people at the ballpark when he goes down on one knee, proposes, they're on the video board, and she says no?
Okay. I've never seen a proposal where the answer was no at a ballpark that I thought was real. The skeptic in me and just the common sense in me tells me that they're all fake.
Okay.
Like, how often does someone propose and get told no? Like an actual proposal that you plan. If you're doing that, you know the answer is going to be yes.
Absolutely correct. So that's set up. Every last one of those that you've seen is a setup. Every one.
When you proposed to your wife, was there any inkling in your mind that she might not say yes?
No, and she hates that I felt that way. But no, look, but the evidence that would argue for at least some of these are real. And granted, I agree. I think whatever the percentage is, there are some that absolutely staged. Make everyone feel a little bit better.
All.
But, okay, how do you explain the rejections then? Do they want to make everyone feel that bad at the ballpark? Like, there are videos.
They want to go viral.
But there's one funny. This was like 15, 20 years ago at a Houston Rockets game where people don't go even when the Rockets are good. So, like, that to me, I wouldn't want to go back. That's part of your experience in that building, that you saw someone rejected live. Propose.
All right, I'm gonna look at it right now.
I think it's more funny than sad.
Then play along with me. Which one would you rather do? You're sitting directly next to strangers where this happens, and someone decided to do this. This is the most romantic moment, the bottom of the fourth at Fenway. Let me propose to my partner. And that person says no, or you're in the back of the wedding you don't really care about, but you can't really escape, and there was an objection. You got to pick one.
I would love to be present for either one.
No,
I mean that makes, oh my God, that makes the whole event worthwhile.
2 Bryan Adams concerts stresses you out, and this does not. What is wrong with you?
I think I would rather be there for the objection at the wedding.
I think I want front and center for
only
that.
because I'm trying to decide what I enjoy more. I would enjoy the objection at the wedding.
I mean, for me, I'd get to drink after, right? Presumably there's open bar. But then that person, that wedding is like that memory's tied to that person. And X stands up and be like, no, here's a Hail Mary to win you back. I think I'd rather do the ballpark.
I'm looking at the Houston Rockets marriage proposal fail. It's fake.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
John, either one of your marriages, was there any doubt in your mind? John's been divorced.
No, I was very sure both times.
But
yes.
did she say yes when you asked for a divorce, too?
I didn't ask.
Okay.
That wasn't on me.
Did you say yes when she asked?
Of course.
Did you fight it tooth and nail?
Oh, man. I said, yeah, it's time to go.
Did anybody object?
Right. To the divorce?
Yeah. Speak now. Forever hold your peace.
Doesn't sound like it. All right. Andrew, thank you very much. You're going to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 o'clock.
All right. You'll be back tomorrow. And Zolak and Bertrand are up next. Thank you, everybody. Bye.